discussion there, but you know, game one, typically in a lot of the tournaments, especially our international events, it does kind of slow down just a little bit, but I'm not seeing it here in Reload. It's just constant action. Elimination onto Rainy. Shari now trying to play for a lurk onto Muzz and Sphinx, and this is the spot where I told you 4 teams are actually landing at.
And that's the thing there. Muzz Sphinx being fully aware of just how many other duos are actually surrounding them. They're definitely trying to be a little bit smart. Obviously, Shari going to reveal himself now. Khaled following suit, but Sphinx and Muzz, they are already locked down and secure inside of the building. It's going to be tough for Shari or Khaled to really find any sort of entry point, so they'll opt to create a little bit of distance here. Might actually cause for Muzz and Sphinx to focus a little bit more of their attention that way, because as duos start to get a move on, Muzz, Sphinx, they'll waste no time. Now looking to see if they can beam Khaled out of the air. Don't even give him that opportunity to properly rotate off the launch pad, and obviously it's just going to get more complicated as the zones continue to go further and further inward.
So we're at day 1 at EWC game 1.
I mean, when you literally have a quarter of the lobby landing on Elite Armory, it does kind of ease up the pressure elsewhere, and it kind of being used by not only Vico and Malibuca, but Rainy as well. They went down early on. They got separated, so he's the one buying all the time in the world. Muzz and Sphinx on the other side, trying to rotate away west of the Elite strongholds. They end up in a little bit of an altercation, one that does seem to be stalled out, though.
Part of the problem is PH from a distance actually going to snipe away Shari for Muzz and Sphinx's clutches. And a little bit of a disappointment, maybe even for Muzz and Sphinx. They'll opt to drop for the loot. That does leave Khaled in a bit of an awkward position. Obviously, waiting
super
for
early for me. Normally, I'm not on until like 8 hours from now.
Edson right behind him, and Muzz, Sphinx fully aware of the fact they might just have to pick up another fight.
One after the next, Edson.
Wait, is that Muzz?
Again,
that wasn't
this
Muzz.
is one of the teams at
this
the
is a
Elite
different
Armory,
Muzz.
and you see him using that grapple, just trying to bait and switch. But he could separate himself just a little bit too much from PH. This could have been a great opportunity for Muzz and Sphinx to kind of peek out. But I know Muzz and Sphinx, especially when it comes to reload, they like to play a calm, cool, collected gameplay. They don't go elimination heavy and toward the end of the game when they almost have to.
Also just smart forcing that disengage, because when you looked at what PHN was rocking with, he didn't actually have a way back up that clip face without burning through every single one of his materials. So opt for the launch pad escape here. Rainy and Nolly, though, waiting to see whether or not they can capitalize on Cringe's early woes here. Volko doing what he can to provide some cover fire, see if he can get his duo out of dodge. And for right now, seems to be a success, because Nalu definitely on the ropes here. Cringe gonna start to make a revisit, but it turns back to their favor. Rainy and Nalu, just like that, come out on top, but at the same time, Volko's still the healthiest of the bunch.
Yeah, we saw him drop to 5 HP before he finally got saved. And you got to give Nalu and Rainy a good credit right there to help each other out when they need it most, because that would have been the worst possible time for Nalu to get taken down, because you see how many more and more players are moving over in that direction. You can kind of see where the mini-map is at. The zone is pulling everybody over towards the western part of the map, towards Peerless Pier. And even though if it doesn't land over at that POI, Taco, we got to watch out for the mountainous edges that play a huge role in these end games.
All right, now one thing's for sure, David. Cringe is just trying to look out to see whether or not he can even touch foot back onto the ground. Vico and Malibuca drawn towards that reboot. It's like a calling beacon to every single duo in the area, and now Vico, Malibuca choosing to just continue wrapping around, following where these reboots are taking place. And if they can keep securing elimination points like that, it might force the hand of Shark and Teeny to get a little bit more proactive on that aggressive front.
Yeah, even though for today's games, it is going to be top 7 qualify to the finals. It's almost like that. I think Barney said it, like the first impressions matter so much. When everybody else goes back to rewatch this, the other group that is probably watching it live now, they're going to try to pinpoint and expose some of those weaknesses. So you got to make sure you got to play as hard as you can the entire time, 4 straight days to jump on board. Peterbot and Pollo, and honestly, for both watching Shark and TD and Peterbot and Pollo here, 0 eliminations so far in this game. It's not something I expected to see, but they are a team that does like to play a little bit more calculated at times.
name power certainly playing a little bit of a part here, lending towards their favor, though, because who wants to really get all that up close and personal with those duos this early on the competition? Rather just wait and see whether or not they decide to throw their names into the hat. But Chino, Pablo, crowd getting a little active for these two on your screen. Vitality's representatives, and obviously a strong European
I'm
powerhouse
kind of
team,
burnt
so
out right
some
now.
big
I'm not gonna
games,
lie, guys, because I'm fucking
especially where
tired.
they're currently located. Hari and Cammy just
Again,
on
not
the
normally
other
up this
end.
early, so
Separate hill face now.
just gonna rock it.
But
See how it goes.
so far,
Honestly,
everybody's in the
UWC, the
clear.
broadcast seems a little loud for
teams
me.
are starting to hedge up in positions to potentially lock out
Turn it
others
down
though
just a little
caught
bit.
inside of the storm for just one step too many. Now Pump, Epic Whale, really trying to find
See how
themselves
it
not getting
goes.
sandwiched between the two.
Yeah, and you can kind of see on the right side of your screen, these guys this weekend are playing more than just for themselves. They're playing for a club championship. If anybody can take down Team Falcons, it is going to be AGAL, which we will see tomorrow. Vitality in this game as well. So there's still plenty of those club championship points up for grabs. So a lot of these Fortnite players, they're used to playing a little selfish, playing for themselves. But I think right now they got the big picture understood here.
Yeah, you
Ghost
just,
Ship gonna go down,
you
brings
have to
Bugha.
get top 7.
Center zone
20
on the
teams, top
edge
7.
of a hill.
7
They got
teams
in
move
position
on.
very, very nicely.
Guaranteed
They do have
into
some
the
good heals, and
finals.
their loadout
3
pretty
teams,
looking stacked.
or
To wait and see whether or not it
trying to
actually
remember
goes
how it
well
works.
for
7
them.
teams move
Zidane,
on.
though,
Tomorrow,
definitely in a
another
bit
7
of
teams move
trouble
on.
as Epic Whale and Pump are gonna cut
3
them
teams
off.
are
Let
eliminated.
next rotate. You also have to remember, with so many stragglers, kind of teams that just suffered some of those early issues at the beginning of a
So it
match,
should be interesting
waiting
to
for
see.
their duo to
Honestly, the
reboot,
format's
get
a little
themselves into a position
interesting.
where they can even participate in the lobby. You're coming into the mix behind on loot, behind on just about everything. Material can also be a little bit hard pressed even if you've been getting constantly farmed out of that reboot cycle, but knowing that there's only one duo that's actually been fully eliminated at this stage so far, Jacob, and we're already rapidly making our approach towards that 7
It would
zone.
suck to be the
Remember,
only
that's the
duo
point
that's
where
like already
if you lose your
eliminated.
duo, or if you both get wiped, that's it. That's the end of the run, obviously, but knowing that you're going to lose that reboot opportunity, I think, could put a little bit more pressure on.
Yeah, and it's definitely going to be tough because if the qualifiers have taught us anything, you don't start to get placement points until essentially the end of the game. Zone 10, Zone 11, Zone 12. That's where you get a lot of the meat and potatoes in terms of those points. So it's going to be very, very important. I like the strategy out of Starkantini. I like the strategy out of Nosif and Izzy. And you can kind of see a couple of these teams are kind of trying to fly under the radar. 10 games is a long time, especially when we go from Elite Stronghold
10
to the
games.
Map. You don't want to be on anybody's radar at least too soon in the tournament.
Epic
10
Whale
games.
done a good job to be a little
My
bit
God,
more
I'm gonna be here all day.
evasive from the rest of the lobby, just continuing to put up some strong positional fronts. Epic Pump, though, fully aware of the fact they're going to need to get a move on. Solid hustle so far from some of NAOS finest, but gotta watch your steps sometimes. Lewa, Romero, Shadow, Virgo, so many other teams.
I don't think
also
Click's
making
called
their
for
approach.
this.
Everybody trying to really get based up more towards that high ground position because where the zone is pulling towards, but that's gonna force some
Or
other
Higgs.
teams to sort of start getting entangled with each other, and these engagements can get really awkward, especially with what PH Zen is holding on to.
Yeah, this one's gonna be interesting to watch for PH Zen with that mythic Shockwave launcher. We know what Shockwaves, we know what the overdrive Shockwaves can do, and that
Mythic Shockwave launcher.
is
That's
that much
actually
more
so
dangerous.
broken for builds in particular, so that should be really interesting to see how that plays out.
Elite experiments. There's a lot of places to hide, but as Taka was
Love to
saying,
see
you can
it.
see Peter Bot Poyo,
You love to
Phoenix
see it.
Retro, Izzy Nosif, Sharkantini even on the other side. They're putting a lot of importance on maintaining a bit of elevation because we could easily go up any one of these mountains on the side.
It's also just so hectic when you're trying to play through low ground in this type of environment.
Honestly,
Especially when you know
38
that
players
PH
is
Zen,
like
it's unlikely
abnormal
to
for
be a
these
pretty
players.
good
Like they
defense
normally
as long as they're
are in a
focused on
stacked
Mythic
lobby, and
Shockwave,
there's
but
like
for Pete
60
Polio,
plus at this point.
right now, they're really
In
just
a
trying to
regular,
stave off
Battle
everyone
Royale
else,
game.
and we got about 45 seconds and dwindling until the reboots are getting cut off, and that's also going to be an interesting landscape because for a lot of these teams, that next rotate could just be your last.
Yeah, you can
I
get
wonder
that
if they can
max
see the
pull, then you
broadcast from the way they're
scratch your
sitting.
head,
I feel
how
like
am
they
gonna make it
can.
all over these teams. And that's why I think elevation is definitely key. And you see a huge mix of rotation coming out from some teams, mainly being the shockwaves. But the other thing you got to notice is that Flowberry Fizz, because it allows you to go higher, further, that low gravity. And you mix that with the shockwave, it's almost very little worry if you do end up with that max pull. So if you don't have it, definitely got to be careful. But as Taco was alluding to, 5 seconds, reboots will turn off. And that means it's essentially your last chance to make any mistakes here. And you can kind of see the different edges, the mountain over towards the east, the regular POI over towards the south. And this zone is going to tell us a lot.
Cammy Hari, while they'd initially been a little bit more isolated, Spinks and Muzz immediately going to crash the party here, but Alex is the one who's really got to look out. Shartini, they were trailing.
I think that's the OCE team power.
A little bit more damage in the exchange, but he's still got plenty of shield left to work with, and Teeny right next to him. And the damage has already been done. Reckless, best of luck out there, buddy, because you're going to need it with so many other teams already starting to swarm onto his position. Shartini, they're going to be so difficult to actually avoid their line of sight, and they're already fixated on the next move. They want to immediately send it towards high ground, and they're going to have the advantage of getting ahead of Mofu and Tama in the process.
Yeah, even though I'm a little surprised about their lack of aggression in the early game, they're a team that knows how to flip that switch, just like this one here. Shadow and Virgo progressively getting better each and every tournament throughout this year. They not only qualified for this event, they made sure to kind of take down some top teams all along that path, and now they're elevated just like everyone else. They see that the zone has pushed everyone toward the north. Pablo Ingu and Chino
Volko going down.
Volko, just showing how chaotic
Reboots are disabled at this point, so anybody that gets eliminated, they ain't getting back up. The OCE team's still in it because Reckless and Alex are, I believe, teammates, so they'll be able to stay in it.
A little bit of an opening, but they are making sure the lobby's focus is headed elsewhere. Reckless, though, just still so separated from everybody else. Sure, he might have been ahead of the pack, but when you're a solo, you only have so many options. And now, as the congestion starts to fold on top of him, Shartini headed straight for height. They're looking to really be the primary controllers for where
I feel like the quality's not as good as like an official Fortnite broadcast for some reason. Like the broadcasting quality seems kind of blurry to me. I don't know if that's just me.
But now Shartini beaming you of all teams. Virgo already feeling some of that pain, loses pretty much all of his shield. He's gonna have to take a moment now to stop and heal.
Yeah, they positioned perfectly for the zone to pull in their favor. Every team, or at least relatively so, has
tons of ammo
in this direction.
I can't believe you're using this AR though.
And because they're elevated so high up,
I hate this AR.
One of those shockwaves to get to the front side of zone and maintain their position, and out it goes. They're gonna go ahead and try to hold on to it while continuously looking for more and more opportunities at damage and getting these players out of the lobby.
I like the fact that they actually cut that frontside rotation a little bit short just so they could do, as you said, elevate. That is the priority for these two. Nosip Izzy currently stuck, but it's temporary because they find a big knock onto Pump.
That's Epic Whale's teammate. The Epic Whale goes down, so Pump and Epic Whale are out of it at this point.
And see whether or not they can break in towards where Cringe is at, but no, instead realizing positioning is going to be the clear intentions. And Shark and Teeny doing such an excellent job still of maintaining height. They're not really allowing anybody else.
Luca Braid's still in. Yeah, I don't think Shark and Teeny are going to lose height right at this point unless that team with the shockwave cannon decides to go for it. Peterbot goes down. Poyo's now left as a solo. Not looking good. That is not where you want to die.
Benefiting so heavily right now. 2 eliminations. Izzy right next to him, relatively healthy, but at the same time, they've got to be so careful. Straight to his front side. They're going to opt to drop here. They know that they've got company, but they've done a good job of cutting off where the other frontside duos were initially headed. Shartini still applying so much pressure, and Muzz will take out Malabuka, but Spinks loses his duo in turn. He'll have to keep trying to tarp his way forward, but with only 1 build remaining, he's going to be forced into a fight. It's an all-out scramble currently, and Spinks, he'll even opt to maybe try and play the medkit for some additional points because placement isn't even really a factor yet, Jacob.
Yeah, I was thinking he's one of 4 solos, seeing Malabuka down 5 solos, Chino down 6 different solos. Being stuck in this end game is just complete madness. And down below, you got Booga and Braids trying to control as much of the ground as possible. But you see 2 empty item slots digging into their heels. Relatively low to no materials. They're going to need a miracle if they're going to make a run for first in this game.
Right now, it's all about trying to see if they can even break through some of these pre-existing
Cammy Hari.
currently. Cammy doing what he can to create a
Sharktini still up on the high ground.
Low ground congestion is at, but Izzy knows a disaster.
Sphinx still is a solo. Izzy goes down. Why are we showing a replay?
Shadow, Virgo in that lower hand section, they've been getting pretty active here, and it's
Braids goes down. I don't know where Vuga is. Reckless finally gets eliminated. Virgo and Shadow looking pretty solid right now. Honestly, nice knock. Shark and Teeny are chilling, but it does look like a Rocket is going towards their builds.
One by one by one, and this is what I was talking about. The progression of Virgo and Shadow over this past year has been insane. Now they find themselves in the top 6, but he goes for a nice elimination on the Rue, but it costs him everything. Moto's able to get the knock, but he's going for a res. He's trying to make the heroic play possible.
He does get the res.
From all angles. He actually does complete the revive, and
but it's not looking good. Cammy goes down to the storm, it looks like. Sphinx is still alive, clutching up real well. Virgo finally going down, Shadow finally going down to Sphinx.
No life remaining. Sphinx trying to see whether or not he'll even be able to make it up. Just getting cut off every step he tries to take, but one after the other. Shark and Teeny up above it all, just having the time of their lives.
Yeah, Shark Teeny basically guaranteed to win on this one.
Shark and Teeny, Hari by himself. Angles are covered from all over. He almost has nowhere to go. The first shot's gonna come in. The second one's gonna be easy. Shark and Teeny win game 1.
Is this EU? I mean, I feel like I'm just watching what I've been seeing all year long, Jacob. Shark and Teeny putting on the masterclass inside of
They popped off.
These guys just understand the game more like the back of their hands.
Yeah, I was giving Virgo credit for the start of his year, how he's been playing, but I think Shark has to be the player in Fortnite right now when it comes to progression, when it comes to building a legacy. 3 out of 4 victories in the qualifiers, and they are looking unstoppable here today.
Definitely a pretty vicious zone, though, for so many of these teams. We saw half the time if it wasn't Shark and Teeny being the problem.
Just look at the drop map, because I'm kind of curious. I don't know where everybody's landing. You got Peterbot, Poyo that are kind of contested by Shadow Virgo, but not really, because there's enough loot in that area. I don't understand why this is contested and this is not. Izzy Nosif, you got Cringe Volko, you got Chino Pablo over on the left side with Phoenix Retro. Contested up here. Mofu, Rue,
big number
and
of
Moda.
eliminations is what they usually have. They
Powers
took a different approach
contested.
to this game, but I think if they
Or I guess Alex Reckless, they're both Power members.
Consistently in the top 3 with eliminations.
By Z-Dog. Shark Teeny are kind of contested by Sphinx, but they are, like, there's plenty of loot to divide it. So however that rotate works.
Not to get excited when you see Shark and Teeny doing their thing, but
I don't know. They say they're going to switch maps, so I don't know. Oh, this is the Slurp Rush map. So how do I... This isn't even in the map that they're playing on right now. So I'm kind of curious how that's gonna look, because there should essentially be 2 drop maps.
Yeah, you got to give Cammy and Hari a little bit of credit as well for how they played. Even when they got separated, they still managed a way to end up with a top 2. But that's going to be it for us on game number 1. We're going to go ahead and
Okay,
quick short moment here.
So I don't know if they go back and forth between the map, or we'll see.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we
Let's check the leaderboard. Shark Teeny was 75, Cammy Hari 65, Muzz Sphinx 57.
Now imagine an entire city.
So we'll see how this plays out. Shadow Virgo in 4th. I thought they would have done a little bit better because they were cooking for a second there. Z-Dog Goofy at 49. 6th is Rue and Moda. Edson. Bison? I don't know. Rainy and Nalu, Buga and Braids, and Tomat and Mofu. That's our top 10. So Peterbot and Poyo are 18th right now with 0 points. They didn't even get an elimination.
Streamers here at the Esports World Cup. Boys, how does it feel to be here at the Esports World Cup?
It feels amazing. You know, I've been looking forward to watching this event for a long time, and yeah, it's great to be here.
And we just watched that intro. Lots of players walking out, Clicks. Who had the most aura? Who was looking the most confident here?
Man, I have all my bread on Bugo winning it all. His aura, his dynamic, his shape, his energy, it's flowing, I'll tell you that.
He hasn't performed on LAN in a while, though. We haven't seen that Boogle LAN performance in a good while. What makes you confident here?
But what you just said is you haven't seen it in a while, but you've seen it once. That's the difference that y'all have to understand is he was once a winner. So he's winning this weekend.
Like that. Fine
Okay.
words. Now, Savage, EU's got
Sure.
to be backed, right? You're the EU rep here. Who you got winning?
Well, I think Sharkantini, like, you know, I don't know where Clicks is getting Booga from. Yeah, I think he knows something that we don't, but I think it's gotta be Sharkantini for sure. And I think those are the favorites alongside PM Poyo as well. So
NA's winning, Clicks is saying.
I will put anything I love on NA winning. You know that, Savage. You know NA's winning. When was the last time?
I don't think NA was winning, to be honest with you guys.
3 lands ago.
2024.
3 years ago. 2 years ago. 2024. It's been a while, bro. It's been a while.
So we're saying NA. You're backing NA. Why are you not backing Peterbot and Poyo? They were the last LAN winners.
Because he has a bias.
Poyo, I do think they're gonna win, but I'm not gonna be like everybody else and say Peterbot and Poyo is gonna win. They're gonna have a great place.
He literally just
win,
did.
But
He literally just did.
Something about his energy and how he just doesn't care. It's been making me feel some type of way.
All right. If you were playing on NA, right? How well do you think you place?
Well, I did play 1 season on NA, but you know, it didn't end well.
Oh my god.
But I think if I would run it back, have a solid teammate.
Chat, Swag streaming right now. Sorry, 42 much Swag.
And Clicks, you'd win
Definitely
on
a
EU,
W
you reckon?
Fortnite
If you play on
streamer.
EU,
Fun to watch.
You'd win.
Always
If I
has
win
good
on EU,
vibes.
We win with ease.
Uh,
And it's a harder region, you know that.
Definitely
Top
drop a
NAs,
follow if you can.
top NA
If you're in here and
players
you're,
are
and you're
better
feeling
players than
supportive.
Top EU players.
It's sorry, 42
Legends
much.
on the stage,
much
legends in the
swag.
booth as well. Thank you guys so much for the interview. Let's get back to the games.
So, be supportive
Shark
if you
is
can.
one of half of Europe's deadliest duos heading into the Reload Championship, and one of the youngest players at the entire event. Alongside teammate Teeny, Shark won 3 of the 4 Reload Elite Series qualifiers, the best performance of any duo across all 7 reloads.
Yeah, Shark Teeny are definitely, like, it sounds like they're about to win this tournament here today. If they win the finals, it's going to be up in the air because it is going to be the 20 best teams in the world.
That's okay. I think I play great in every final so far.
He looked down, he's like, except for that last one, we didn't do that well.
2026's biggest home
At
star.
the Summit Land, they did
After a
not do that well.
2025 that saw him
Not
rise
nearly
to
as
the
well
ranks
as they
in
wanted to,
competitive Fortnite
obviously,
Europe.
because they wanted to be win. They want to win. You want to be the top 3. They want to be on a podium finish for any tournament. It doesn't matter where you are, where you're from, what tournament it is. You want to be top 3, if not first, in every single tournament. And they did not do that well in Summit
The
Land.
soft-spoken Romanian is coming in hot to the Reload Championship. In 2026, Shark arrived, but this event will decide if he is here to stay.
There are some good teams, but there are like smaller regions. So like the smaller regions are 10 times easier than Europe. Generally the best reload duo. It's kinda easy to play with him. He's just doing everything for me. I just have to eliminate the people and that's it.
Like, how long are these breaks?
Zero, zero, zero. Wait the jumper. Cut it. Watch me.
Viv, I can't believe it. EU gets a VR. Shark and TD, game number 1. I want to say I'm not surprised, but I'm kind of surprised. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no reason to be surprised. We were coming into this competition. Shark and TD are without a doubt considered one of those strongest teams. I think it was me and you, we were watching the game back there together. We looked up, we saw them on the higher ground, and Zeke, quote unquote, went, oh, so Shark and TD, they just win this game. I mean, it's just so incredible how these guys can kind of show up to these in-person events and perform so consistent. I mean, they're new to stages, like not completely new, but I mean, just recently have kind of entered these sort of stages and they just perform every single time. Of course, this is just the group stage so far, but a first game win from Shark and TD, that's gotta be huge for not only their confidence, but also the
I gotta
momentum.
check something out really
That's the
quick,
word,
sorry.
right? Momentum, being able to carry them through. Remember,
We're gonna have to skip out on Zeke and Vivid for a second. Oh my god, bro. I keep getting messages from this Walmart person. They asked me what I can work. I said I'm available Saturday to Saturday through Sunday, all day, morning or night. They messaged me, "Can you work? Like, what is your availability? Like, are you able to work a typical shift 8 to 10 or 11 p.m. to 7 a.m.? I'm not working overnight, so I said I can work 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday to Saturday, the whole week. They messaged me again. What can you work Monday to Friday? Is this person stupid? Hold on one second, guys. I gotta respond to this because this person's actually beyond stupid. I can't even believe I have to. I'm a little blown away. What can you work Monday to Friday? I can work at any time Monday to Friday. Like, why are you asking me? Because they're gonna want me to work weekends. Like, guaranteed, they're gonna want me to work weekends. 7:30, because that's when they open. A.M. to 10 p.m. because that's when they close. All week. I am going to clarify, I have no problem working at any time during the day, evening, or night. The This person's actually dumb. Like, they're actually dumb. God, man, like, how dumb can you be? Like, this is why they don't pay Walmart employees that well. Is because I've been asked the same question 3 times. I've given a clear response 3 times. Now I have to give it a 4th time. It's like, what are you doing? Like, now I literally, like, I've sent the 4th email. But in the 4th email, I've stated exactly what I've stated in all previous 3 emails. So I'm expecting an email back saying, but can you work Monday to Friday? What can you work Monday to Friday? I'm blown away by that response. When I literally just said I can work. I would be available anytime from Sunday to Saturday. Because that's the way the work week is. Sunday to Saturday. That's 7 days. Do the math. Like, if they can't understand what I'm saying after this, I was like, hi, I can work at any time Monday to Friday. Because that's what she asked me. 7:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. all week. I have no problem working at any time during the day, evening, or night. The only thing I'm not interested in is overnight. Thank you for your time. Like, I'm actually so annoyed right now. All right, hold on. Peterbot's already been knocked by Pablo. Wait, why is Peterbot and Pollo over here?
You know what, Jacob, the only thing I was going to say about Pollo is that it doesn't matter if they get eliminated super early on. They're a duo I would never be pressed about because they can have their huge swing of events in just one lobby.
Yeah, and honestly, just a crazy shot there, but Peterbot kind of feeling a little bit more like himself, straying away from landing with Pollo. That way they can get these early game eliminations. But over on to Elite Armory, where last game, I was talking about 4 teams there. We actually had 5 teams at one point or another over at the Elite Armory. This time around, we have a few less teams, only 3 of them looking to actually contest that drop.
So between games, I'm going to have to keep checking my email. Like, I'm so over it, bro. Like, it just reminds me of when I used to work for Walmart. Like, it was just, like, it's not a bad company to work for whatsoever. Like, they're not a bad company to work for, but the people that do their, like, hiring and their management, I'm not gonna lie, tend to have absolutely no idea how to treat their employees. Like, I don't know how I could have been more clear in the previous 3 emails. I can work at any time. Like, morning, evening, or night. Like, you want me to work from 5 to 10? You want me to work 7:30 to 10? Like, I don't care. Give me a 12-hour shift. It doesn't matter to me.
We had 5 teams from the quote-unquote smaller regions, and that's why almost all we...
That's exactly why, like, I'm gonna do a good job. I'm gonna do a good enough job that if I work there, I'm gonna do a good enough job that I'm better than 99% of their employees. But I definitely, like, I just don't even understand, like, how somebody has to ask me the same question 4 times.
They're like, no shot. These guys are going to find themselves inside of a top 7. Sure, you'd see the occasional, yeah, maybe Oshi squeezes in, or maybe one of the Brazilian teams can try to fight their way through, but imagine if there's way more than that. It would certainly make day number 3 pretty interesting. But at least for right here, right now, Muzz, Spinx, sticking to their original game plan that we saw them in the first match. Really not trying to stray too far from the other when there are just so many other teams very prone to jumping at your throats at a moment's notice. They'd rather not risk it. They'd rather make sure that they can stay together, see things through.
Seeing all the action go down. Shark, him and team honestly didn't have very many eliminations at this point in game 1, and already is starting to add on to that 75-point total that they got in that last one. Being the winners of the game, it's kind of proved to have a little bit of confidence, and you can kind of see Edson, PH Sin, Mud Sphinx all staggering back over towards Elite Armory, and the main reason for that is because there's a launch pad, and it's not just a regular launch pad, it's a long launch pad.
Peterbot has gotten elimination.
It doesn't matter where the zone goes, that's what they're going to use to reach it in no time at all.
And that's why I almost want to see whether or not Sharkatini, if they go for another aggressive early height take, that's probably going to be something that's keeping their heads on a swivel. Very likely that they're going to try and avoid letting anybody see them up top. And yeah, Pete rocking a very strong loadout right now.
Yeah, just a gold pump already. He has the combat SMG, and typically I would say that has a lot of recoil. It's kind of
No
hard to use
grappler.
in certain situations. But
Yeah, I am live way
exactly,
too early.
no worries there.
I'm not gonna lie, but it's 9 a.m. It's 3 days of 9 a.m. and then Saturday is like well 10 a.m. for me. It's 10 a.m. for me, and then Saturday, yeah. Yeah, maybe if they brought me onto the official broadcast, that's when I'll do that. I'll do that. Because Saturday, the broadcast starts at 7 a.m. my time. So I don't even know if I'm gonna watch finals, to be honest. Like, sounds awful.
Versus Shark and Teeny with a whopping 78. It can be
Starts at 6 a.m. Eastern time.
It's
It's like nobody that even watches my stream is even gonna be awake. You know, actually that's not true. There are some people from Europe. There's some people from Europe. That means I can't really go out Friday night, which I want to go out Friday night. I'm like annoyed. But it is what it is. Hopefully next EWC is in North America. Or I know the next land's in Belgium, so
before the 10th game is over, if they kind of give
for VR.
a good enough gap. So see Shadow, Virgo, not necessarily in the
Gordon, what up?
in a ravine in between two different mountains.
Yo.
So even though you can be relatively good, 1 second.
Yeah, I had no choice. I had to get on early.
Teams notice you down there, especially since they are built in some of those weaker materials. So it takes 1 second, one lapse of judgment for that mistake to happen. You're kind of seeing everybody around the map. It's little different strategies. Some teams prioritize making it to zone.
So early, honestly.
These launch pads in the Flowberry Pits.
I just love the fact that anytime we get the pan
What is that, 4 o'clock? It's only 4 o'clock your time?
It doesn't matter if they're box fighting.
It's 10:45 a.m.
Opportunity. You know Vitality fans are going to get rambunctious for these two, and that's just going to be such a
10:45 a.m. I may be on extremely early Saturday, but I don't want to be.
Everybody just supporting them so heavily. And that could also play a big part into
It kind of depends. Like if I do decide to go out Friday, and some super gorgeous woman wants to take me home, I won't be on Saturday. But that's probably unlikely.
And Bugha has 2 more in his inventory, so that's going to be their primary mode of
The U tournament?
rotation.
It's a world tournament, I guess you could say. Players from every region are in it. There's more players from Europe because Europe has more players in general, so they have more spots for European teams. Cody is not qualified. He didn't qual for this. Him and Mr. Savage did not qual for this. I'll check day 2 actually. I don't think he's in day 2, but I'll double check.
That sneak attempt will not actually yield anything of benefit.
A Rich Cougar? Yeah, if Rich Cougar wants to take me home, I'm down. I'm down.
But for where Cammy and Hardy are
Kanata
next,
qualified for it. He plays tomorrow though.
Following a similar pattern here, just sort of staking things
But yeah,
out,
to
wait
my
and see.
knowledge,
Will any unsuspecting victims just
Clicks did not
go
qual
right
for
up
this.
to where we need them
Neither
to
did
be with the
Higgs.
perfect shots lined up?
I think him and Higgs were playing together, and I think their chemistry just fell apart, and they just didn't end up qualling.
So Cammy Hart knew he was there, and they kind of made the right decision. Rotate away, get to a better
I did
spot,
watch the
keep
video,
things
actually.
moving.
I did watch the video. I didn't really understand necessarily what's happening in the video, except for the guy that I was watching was extremely goated at the game. But then there was that one dude at that one part, he's like dead, and he's just rambling and rambling and rambling and rambling, and then he gets revived at one point, and he's like, "It's time to kick some ass." And then he gets grabbed, and I'm like, no fucking way. I'm like, that is too funny. Like, I was like, what the fuck? That would have been me, honestly. I would have been the guy to get grabbed. You would be the goat, and then I would be the guy getting grabbed. We're going streaking.
We're going streaking!
There was the one other thing that I saw that was pretty funny, but I can't remember what it is right now. Just that point where he was like,
Seeing a bunch of teams
he's like, it's time to kick some ass. And then he gets nabbed.
Teeny
I was like, no way.
Yet again, that's gonna allow them to save some
At one point, he's
resources
like, okay,
outside
I
of the
appreciate all the information. I appreciate the information, but I don't need it right now.
bird's eye view, figure out where teams are positioned at, where others are rotating to, and give them the best shot to rotate in.
Out of nowhere, killed him. Yeah.
Game after game so far.
Honestly, that guy was not having a good game. It was just funny because he was like trying to tell him, he's like, do you know what like bunny hopping is? And it's like, man, if you don't play games and if you play games and don't know what bunny hopping is, then you don't play games. You know what I mean? It's like, it's pretty self-explanatory.
They're set up for it. All edit comes through, and they'll start to get their move on. Have the well pump. Also similar fashion, but
It was pretty funny, honestly.
It's just going to continue to be as stacked as ever. But again, only one duo that's been eliminated so far.
Yeah, and another
I couldn't really understand. Like, I knew what I was watching, obviously, but at the same time, like, I just don't know like the builds in the game very well or the character classes that well. But at one point, he was like using a staff and he was just like throwing explosions on the ground like endlessly. And I was like, man, this guy is fucking crazy. Like, whatever build he's got going on.
Love for it to pull, but Shark and Teeny right now, they're using their position as a moment and a chance to kind of look back. Is he a no-sip? They're not too far
Oh, so you used to be able to avoid fire damage by bunny hopping? That's actually kind of crazy.
That's going to play a pretty big factor here, though.
That's actually kind of nuts. Like, kind of broken.
It's the elevation pivot.
It's the tech, man. It's the tech that people know.
Over rather open river area, and so you're gonna have teams.
Peterbot and Poyo are in day one. Shark Teeny are in day one. Muzz Sphinx are day one. You have Epic Whale and Pump on day one. Booga and Braze are also in day one. Shadow Virgo as well. Malibuco, Vico. So it's a pretty like both days are very stacked lobbies. Day 2 you have Kanata, you have Sky Scroll. Definitely a crazy team for day 2. Who else is in day 2? Oh, Cold and Rapid are in day 2. Acorn and Bolts. Swizzy Pixie. Yapko and Panzer.
What was that? Malibuca, a grave mistake, getting his shield dropped off just like that.
Malibuca's lucky that nobody else was beating him at the exact same time.
Peterbot and Poyo are not doing good here. Poyo looks so pissed.
Instead, Malibuca will be able to replenish some of his shield, but maybe a little careful there on the trigger finger for the rocket launcher, man, because that could be the end of a run if we were a little bit further into the end game.
Yeah, and you can see they're the ones that got that elimination onto them. They were able to pick up that mythic pistol and put themselves in a good spot. Kamihari rotating on over again. They realize both sides of this actual zone, there's little crevices, little sides, more so on the east, that you can build up on that elevation. And I think Pablo Chino are going to be one of those teams that try to hold on to whatever high ground they can.
I like what Virgo and Shadow are starting to set up for. Booga Braids on the other end of the spectrum, though.
Like, Booga and Braids are doing drastically better than Peterbot and Poyo right now. Peterbot needs a miracle. Will he be able to clutch up?
Because already tell Booga sort of checking out a couple different directions, trying to ensure that they are going to be able.
Why are we looking at people talk on the side? Like, who are they? Am I supposed to know who they are?
But it's tough, Jacob, because there are teams on high like Chino and Pablo that'd be probably pretty eager to get some freebies in.
Peterbot still up, lurking around, trying to figure out what's going to be the right play. We go from that ravine down in towards the middle. You see where the zone is going towards the northwest. There's a whole mountain.
Shark and Teeny are on height again.
It's Shark and Teeny again on the high ground. Edson, PH Sin, and a couple other teams trying to use that launch pad to try to get away from the low ground, get away from the chaos. But they just
Muzz is getting fried.
In the name of Shark and Teeny.
Poor Muzz, man. He just never had a chance. That's the difference between taking the launch pad and Shark Teeny
And killed them fast. For a second, I thought I was gonna be like, you just got obliterated. Now, watching that video last night, I was like, man, this is like, this guy is like on another level for playing this game.
Just biding their time. Also gonna opt to drop back towards that low.
Like, I don't think I'm necessarily bad at the game, but I'm definitely not anywhere near that good.
Low ground congestion is starting to build. It's all about the front side control here. And Izzy just getting beamed.
He splatted down. Oh no, Izzy. That was almost the worst case scenario. But luckily for him, he was able to get up, dust himself.
Why is it showing Poyo's face right now? Show Peterbot. Like, so like, let's just relish in the fact that Poyo's like one of the top players on NA and he's dead already.
No builds left. He's going to need a full elimination here.
Demolishes bosses. See, that's the thing. If you have a good, if you have good players that know how to play the game, you're gonna understand like which classes are better suited for certain things, and then you'll be able to mix up your classes so that you guys can handle different objects and different like situations, like boss situations. He was like flying. He was like hacking at that Nurgle boss, the one that kind of looks like a slug.
Might not get that opportunity. Chino, Pablo, they might be the ones to actually cut that run short. And when you really
I would die a lot. Peterbot goes down, 3 points only.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, but we have
I would most likely be the person that needs to be carried. I mean, if I got good at the game, I'd be the person that's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And I still do that when I play with people that have no idea what they're doing.
That last one definitely went. Cringe able to get 2 onto Alex and Sphinx.
Dude, Shark Teeny are destroying this lobby.
Nobody is looking up.
But with Vico and Malabuka having the RPGs, that could change in a heartbeat. All it takes is one good shot towards Shark and Teeny, force them sort of get.
Do they have the orange fizz?
Where the rest of the chaos is actually unfolding, but Malabuka and Vico first, they have to prioritize making sure that they are in a healthy enough position to fight. Mally gonna use up his last shield potion here, turn his attention towards his fragger Vico, who's able to play Moda.
And win every game if Lily Gamer wasn't on our team. Yeah. Dude, Lily would carry you in this. Lily's a professional build player. Goated. That's why she wasn't doing that well in the ZB, is because she's more of a professional build player. Like, in my opinion, if you are not like random thought, but if you're not good at ZB, you're probably not that good at builds either. Right, like, because most professional build players can go into ZB and still dominate, like, easily.
And it doesn't help that it's Vico and Malabuka who are just overhead of him. Fortunately for Chino, he'll be able to evade their vision for the time being, but Malabuka, there's the first job.
Like, you need to play.
He's going up. He's trying to match Teeny, but
absolutely not. Like what?
They'll get some more damage than Malabuka shields.
You don't think Lily Gamer would carry you in a build game?
He's taken out Shark with the follow-up to protect his IDL.
Takes a huge bite out of the competition. That is
Shark Teeny are just on a roll right now. Nobody's stopping them. Like, they're just able to take height and hold it because their accuracy is so good. The only way they lose height is if they multiple teams try to shockwave up at the same time. Teeny does go down. Shark finally goes down, but they died in like 4th, so they're still looking really, really strong. Retrons and Phoenix. Man, that kid looks like he's 10 years old. Like, that guy looks like he's fucking 10 years old.
Talking about all year long, saying they have to be one of the best teams on West. Week after week, I'm trying to put them in the moment that they deserve, and they prove it here again.
They both look so young.
They qualified to the Global Championship, and now they win a game in their first LAN ever.
That kid kind of looks like Hunter. That's weird.
Regions get their flowers in the moment. It was definitely a hard-fought battle, but also want to give a big kudos there to Mofu and Tomat, some of the youngest competitors in the day's competition. They are 14 each, okay? And then you think about the fact that we've got players like Epic Well.
Dude, these guys must be like 13. They look so young.
Here in today's competition, but as far as NA West representatives are considered for stamping themselves and opening things up big time. That's all Phoenix and Retro.
And it definitely has to be feeling good, especially the way they did it. No builds on the low ground. Phoenix.
I'm about to look at my email again, and if I see another email specifying when I can, asking me when I can work, I'm gonna fucking lose my shit. 24? What, you think they're... Yeah. There's no way. They have to be at least 13, because I think you can't play in these tournaments unless you're 13. So they have to be at least 13. But, like, they look so fucking young. Alright, give me a second. I gotta look at my email. I'm still here, but I have to look at my email because I'm getting emails from Walmart. Are you available today for they want me to go in for an interview at 3 p.m. 2 or 3 p.m. Let's see. So I'll probably have to do that. I don't want to do that, but I'll probably have to do that. This is gonna run. When I started the military, I was 20 and looked about 30. Right now, you're 28 and you look 40. What the fuck? Hold on, I'm trying to see. Why don't they just call me, bro? Why would she send me like 4 emails asking the same thing? And then asked me to come in for an interview. She could have called me, been like, when are you available to work? I would have been like, yo, from here to here. Can you come in for an interview? Yes. Done. Yeah, you can come visit me at Walmart, yeah? Stocking Pokemon cards? Yeah, if I'm lucky. Like, you think you'd want to interview me? To ask, and like, during the interview, you'd ask me when I'm available to work. It seems like such a, like, a counterproductive... This whole emailing process is just like, ridiculous. I just don't know when this is gonna end, and I want to watch this. So she said 2 or 3 p.m. It's like I should just go in at 2, which is 3 hours from now. Alright, sent. So I now have an interview at 2 p.m. My goth cashier GF? Yeah, I don't know about that.
Focusing on. There's a reason
I don't necessarily... I don't need a goth cashier GF. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't forget as well, the
Like, don't get me wrong, goth girls are attractive, but I'm more of like the
want to go back on over to the casters.
I don't even know, like the blonde or brunette, like pretty girl type. Or redhead. Honestly, it doesn't really matter what their hair is, what the hair color is. Like, I don't really, like, that doesn't really affect me. Blonde, brunette, redhead, whatever. Goth girl, fun to hang out with. I don't know, like, it depends. There's a lot of goth girls that are actually, like, really nice. I'll check my email here again in a second.
Games done, Taco. We have 10 games today, 10 tomorrow, 10 the next day, and then who knows when it comes to.
I find it so annoying that this person's like emailing me today, like 4 times asking me the same question, and then is like, "Can you come in for an interview today?" It's like, why not? Like,
you casted it on EU, but they deserve all the credit in the world so far.
Look, it says a lot when the 3 Reload Elite Series finals that they make it to, they win every single.
Like, I'm definitely overqualified for the position, so it's like, whatever they want to pay me, like, they most likely will pay me just above minimum wage. And I'm just gonna be so fucking pissed off working there. I can't lie. It's a job, so basically it's a job until I find another job. And I will be putting in the effort to find another job. I have a PhD in gender studies, yeah. Like, what are your qualifications? Yeah, I have a PhD in gender studies. They'd be like, okay. Like, how does that matter? They'd be like, we don't actually need anybody like that. We want the opposite.
Is the only spot that you don't want to be.
Yeah, and interesting enough, one team in that bottom 3 is a team that we all thought would be in the top 3 at the end of the entire thing. Peter, Bot, and Pollo. We have to talk about it because we just haven't seen the 2 guys that have dominated an entire region.
I can't imagine this goes for another 3 hours.
Here yet today, Peter Bot had a moment there as a solo, but as you know, Reload is so chaotic. It's hard to survive in some of those moments, and so we're just going to need a huge pick-me-up game from them.
Okay, look, we're talking about, though, Pollo, but what we just witnessed out of Shark, 2 quick eliminations, and he's looking to rack up even more to the count. Absolutely no.
Now I gotta shave. I gotta get ready for a fucking interview, bro.
Shark's run of fun is going to be
Makes me sound so ungrateful, but it's like I've applied to this company like 4 or 5 times in the last like 3 months. And every time they're like, oh, our position's been full. And then I applied for this position probably 3 or 4 weeks ago. And they just never got back to me till today. So you guys are telling me that you fill every position within a couple days, and then this position, which is a literal general position, you take you a month to figure out how to get somebody for it?
Phoenix Retro across from Cringe and Boko here. They were the winners of that last game, trying to close the gap.
Like, the only reason I'm willing to work at this Walmart is because it's not as busy as the other Walmart in Fredericton. The other Walmart is like busy 99% of the time. This Walmart, every time you go in, seems like a pretty chill vibe. So, now that being said, they want to hire me right before like students come back. So like the last couple weeks of August and the first couple weeks of September tend to be really busy. So that sucks ass.
Not going to be able to connect the dots just yet.
It will go on a 3-week international NATO practice.
Secured spot, but teams are definitely still lingering.
And a 105mm artillery cannon. That honestly sounds so fucking cool. Sucks that you're not getting paid more though. That is the most unfortunate part about it, is the fact that you're not gonna make that much money. But I mean, I guess some money's better than no money. Oh, Malibu just got smacked.
Given that he just came back into the lobby after that early exit, so Mali hoping
1K euros, not bad. That's not bad.
Somebody can get a bailout opportunity on him.
That's not bad at all.
Nope, not this time, Nalu. Rainier going to tape down Malabuka. Starting off here, Vico not too far away. And honestly, watch the feed last game. Malabuka
That's
did go
1,600
down
Canadian.
early on, but they were able to
So
kind of
that's
bring it
like
back and show that they're not going to get pushed over easy. But Vico
just
are
under minimum
literally
wage, if I'm being
not too
honest,
far
because
away.
it's
Malabuka's
if it's
gonna
3
spawn
weeks.
right
If
above
it was
him.
2 weeks, that'd be
But
being
Malu
paid better than
Rainier
minimum
unable
wage,
to
but it's
plant
just like
any
just
shots
under
there to
minimum
get
wage in
another
Canada
quick down, but they
for
have to
3
know
weeks
that
full
Vico
time.
is somewhere nearby because of where he actually rebooted in from.
A little bit of a break though for Malabuka. See whether or not he's actually
Like, I'm
able to
literally like a dream employee for a place like Walmart. So like, I'm gonna work at Walmart for like the next 3 months to get past their probationary period, and then I'm gonna like change if they hire me. I'm not saying they're like guaranteed to hire me by any means. Yeah, I mean honestly, it's, like I would do it. Like I get to go shoot some cannons. Like fuck yeah. Why would I not do that? That sounds awesome. For 1,600 for 3 weeks, count me in.
Just kind of understanding the fact that they don't need to
Let me sign up.
They can just
I'll come with you.
shots.
And then after the 3 months, I'm gonna change my availability because they like if I have like these companies are so predictable. If I have a strict availability, they won't hire me. If I have a strict availability, they'll get rid of me as soon as they can. If I have any stipulations on my schedule, they don't want me to work there. So basically, after the 3 months, I'm going to tell them I've signed up for a class on Sundays so that I always have Sunday off.
That high ground team. I want to call for that moment. Hopefully somebody finds it in them because it's what we did see in the qualifier.
It just becomes
And if they're
so
like, oh, you need to
difficult,
provide
though,
paperwork, I'll be like, no, I
whether
don't.
it's
I'm just
using
not going to
those
be
long
here on
transfer
Sunday.
days,
And you
whether
guys
it's
can
using
either
the
put that in the
half-fast
scheduling
days,
or not. I don't
it's
care.
really hard to try and lock Shark and Teeny down, but Kamihari, they got other problems they're trying to work through as Epic, Will, and Pomp find themselves.
It's just like I've just dealt with these retail companies for like 15 to 16 years of my life, so I just know that they'll do anything to take advantage of somebody without giving anything back. So we'll see how it goes.
Main ones to sort of walk away from that exchange pretty healthy, but also looking to see whether or not they can even find other opportunities to get the points stacked up a little bit more.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy, but you can kind of see that they're able to find exotics. In Reload, if you guys don't know, we have exotics, we have mythics, we have everything that you could possibly ask for and more in this one. So you're going to be able to utilize that one. It does come with a little bit of effect to kind of help them boost their game plan just a little bit better. I'm seeing Booga rotate around. Early game for Braids has been successful, able to find at least one elimination here. Again, there's no
I can handle Pokemon card scalpers. They wouldn't give a fuck.
kind of starts to build the confidence.
Some companies do. Walmart would be like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like I bought a pack of like a box of. I was like, is there a limit on these? I know some stores do limits, and the person that gave me was like, I don't think so. I don't know. I was like, okay. So I could buy them all if I wanted to, and they're like, yeah.
Just get back into the action
What?
off of the reboot cycle.
Okay.
You never know. That might just be the actual game changer here. Shadow and Virgo, though.
Yeah, parody animated video. I'm not too sure, to be honest.
Getting a nice little replay
I'm not
package
too sure.
on where some things went very heavily in his favor up against Rainy.
Let's see if Shark
Probably
Teeny
not
pop
the
off
highlight
again in
reel
this
that
game.
they wanted to see,
Most
but
likely
at
will.
the same time, that's just how the cookie crumbles.
Now I'm anxious because it's like I want to keep watching this, and I'm afraid that I'm gonna have to cut it short.
And they went ahead
In
and
Discord?
Think about Poyo, not too far away of Khaled and Shari. Trying to be very, very careful. The zone is there. There's no reason to take the big risk just yet. Still only
No, I have not seen this.
So a slow start to the overall tournament from Peter Bot and Poyo. And remember, it's top
Bro, I can already
7
tell it's gonna be
making
gold.
directly to the finals. The bottom 3
Yeah, I'll check that
will
out
get
later.
eliminated from this group, and then the middle.
It's only a
10,
4-minute
they go to
video,
the
so it's
five
not even that
survival
bad.
stage, which is day 3.
In terms of length.
And we're a little interested in what Mshari and Khaled had going on, and Overdrive's also going to alert Mshari that there was somebody potentially lurking on them. Still, they won't have the chance to actually fight it out just yet. Pete Poyo instead directed a little bit more of their attention towards PA's in, and it's in. Nice opening shot now means
Like,
that
knowing the
Emporio,
way
they
that
can
Walmart
keep the
works, they're
rotation
probably gonna,
moving
like,
because
if
the
I'm
amount of
lucky,
damage
they'll
they
want me
were
to start
after
Monday,
is
but at
going
the
to
same
force
time,
things in
if
into a
I'm
spot where
unlucky,
he's
they're
got
gonna want me to start
prioritize
Monday.
healing his shield, restoring that. So now Pete and Poyo can just leapfrog their position.
And
but
because I have
Shark
experience
and
working
Teeny,
at
they're
Walmart
actually gonna
before,
be the
they're
choke
probably gonna be
Hey,
like,
Boy are known for going after the team.
they
in
probably won't
first
even
place,
train
so
me.
a top
They'll just be
of the
like, here, you know
leaderboard, that
what
could
to
have been
do.
a good shot to try to close the gap. But Sharkatini,
I mean, who am I
just as
kidding? Even if I
aggressive,
hadn't worked at Walmart, they'd
just as
still be like that.
dangerous, not too far away. And it's to see on the mini map, there's not too many teams nearby, but that's okay for them. They just want to continuously rotate in. As long as they have the extra med kits and the white HP heals, they can send an extended amount of time into the storm. And you can see why they're playing relatively safe as opposed to full-on aggressive. We're already in the 5th zone. Yes, you can reboot, but Taco, where are you going to go? What
Was
are you going
Braid's
to get
dead
if
right
you end
now?
up going down here?
You're going straight into the elimination tally for another duo nearby. There is just very little wiggle room to actually try and escape some of that pressure. But thinking back to what P and Poyo were trying to do, getting a little bit more active against the likes of Shark and Teeny. You got to be careful what you wish for sometimes, because Shark and Teeny, not exactly the sort to sort of shy away from any kind of fight. There's no Sif and Izzy really trying to get the ball rolling here in game 3.
I'm tired.
A little bit of a doozy.
And now I gotta
first
go to a
couple of
fucking
lobbies.
interview.
But for the most part, they are still in a position where
It's not
they
really the
can
company
have
I
a
want to
very
work for, I won't lie to you
solid
guys.
run that jumps them up quite a few places on
Like,
that
it's not a
leaderboard.
bad, it won't be a bad job, it'll be really
See a lot of
easy.
teams on the outskirts.
Um,
What is
depending on
this?
how the
Yeah,
management
this is what I'm talking
are.
about. We got mythics, we got exotics, and while Vico was like, you know what, let me grab a mythic spire rifle, let me grab a mythic hand cannon, and this is something where he can spray. There's over 50 medium bullets in that clip, and he can
Like, I'm
just
already,
spray
like-
and spray and spray, and then if
They do this,
peek,
they
he
do
has
this
the
whole
mythic hand
Walmart
cannon, and
chant
that's
at the
not
beginning of the
mentioning
day as
anything
well,
that
and
might
I'm
be
like,
invalid
oh
with
my
this loadout
god.
either. So if there's any game I would love to see them on high ground, this is the one.
Or at least attempting to try and take it again from Shark and Teeny. Might have gone south one time already, but you might be able to get your lick back. You never know. Still, Izzy, Nosif, raid visiting, exactly where we left off. The Frenchies is there.
Between this game and
Now
next game, I'll
waiting to
probably
see.
go,
Buildings clear. We are good to go.
like, shave really quick.
But there's no rush. Gotta have a little bit of patience when you're trying to orient yourself, especially when you know that the way that the zone is pooling, a lot of buildings that teams could already be kind of huddling around corners, making it very difficult to actually feel super safe in your next step.
Trying to see where the zone is forcing everybody yet again. And this is, with the Elite Strongholds map, there's just so many different mountain edges, elevation changes. And it almost happens at every single one of the end games, no matter what side of the map we go on. This might be one of these first ones, but I'm crossing my fingers. I don't end up cursed the rest of the lobby. We go towards the northeast yet again, where we still have one team yet to start to rotate in. But for Shark and Teeny, you could see them starting to climb up that ladder. We've seen them on high ground in game 1. We've seen it again in game 2, and it's looking like we might see it again here in game 3.
A big part of the reason why it's so hard to take hype from these guys is that they are just super aware. They are constantly checking every single one of their angles and always looking up. In a meta where we know that it is quite prevalent to utilize the crash pads and the fizzes, or the fizz into the launch pad, Jacob, when you've got players that are as hyper fixated on clearing out the skies and with the aim to do it too, that's what makes Shark and Teeny just a whole different type of beast to contend with. It's currently Shark still holding on to those early 2 eliminations, but the damage may have already been done. Given that they are in one of the best positions currently on this lobby, it's all going to depend on whether or not they can continue to clear these paths forward. As long as they get these little pot shots in, weaken some of the other teams ahead of them, they'll be able to hold on to their high ground position.
Yeah, and this
Again,
next zone here,
on the high ground,
most
just
of
hanging
it
out.
is low ground. There's not too many mountains, but there's a little bit of a crevice. You can see it there in the mini map. Literally at the middle of the entire thing, there's a little bit of a mountain you can start to attach to. And now with the zone pulling in that direction, Teeny and Shark, they're in the front side of the zone. They're not going to only be able to get damage on a lot of the teams, just like we saw last game. We could see be a late shockwave for them to try to take it, but in their path, Booga and Braids as well. Muzz and Sphinx trying to rotate on over, so it's not going to be easy as it sounds.
You got Malabuka, though, getting a little dicey there with Shark and Teeny. They were nestled just underneath, and for Shadow Virgo, sort of waiting to see what their catalyst moment's going to be, but for Cammy and Hari, it's going to be an opening, trying to see if they can get
Reboots
credit,
disabled.
but it is
20
Ed
teams
Sing
still
going
up, so only
down
one
to the
team has
legs
been
of
fully
Khaled,
eliminated.
so no luck for Hari and Cammy. Divine
Actually, no team's been fully eliminated. Never mind. I take that back.
Still, they are in
Just,
a rather
there's just 2
solid
solos.
spot, because since they're just a little bit further ahead where Khaled is at, they'll have the opportunity to essentially force that engagement should he try to cut by.
Yeah, this time around, though, is he no sip, just trying to block it off. That's the little crevice of the mountain I was talking about, but instantly the zone moves, so do they. They're trying to follow along with it. No sip going first. Izzy staying back to watch their back. Everybody else is trying to take whatever positioning they can get, including Shadow and Virgo. They finally reunite in the same box. But you can see Lewa, Romero, with so many other teams waiting for them to make a mistake.
And Rainey's just not having a good time right now. Izzy and Nosif heads up play, doing exactly what a team on height needs to be very proactive about, shutting down those rotate opportunities from teams trying to leverage off of the launch pads and sending it towards height. But for Cammy and Hari, they've been sticking a little bit towards the low ground here. They're about 1 layer up currently.
You know, Poyo are still alive in this game.
So many builds of
Looks like one
players
team has been fully eliminated. Still 2 solos, though.
of the zone, so not really giving a great clearing
See what they
process
got.
for teams to try and avoid
Booga
their
Braids
line of
getting
sight here. It doesn't help that Izzy
shot
Nosif
down
also
on.
trying to be very adamant about holding that higher up position, but Pete
They have
Poyo
1
starting
elimination,
to
6
scale up.
points.
Have to remember Sharktini,
Pretty low on the
they're still
leaderboard
lurking
for
about.
them. They're not
Vico
used to this
Malabuka,
position.
another
Sharktini
duo
are
that is
they rifted up.
certainly going to try
Or
and
they
get some
ha-
leeway, headed towards that high ground, but just how
God
far
padded
can
up.
you
I'm not
really
too sure.
look? Shark and Teeny are just so far and above the rest of the lobby. They are preserving so much of their build material.
I bet you they're eyeing up on Izzy and Nosif. They're saying, hey, make a mistake. Forget we're up here for 1 second, and that'll be the last thing you do in this game. Peterbot and Poyo, shockwave ahead. They gain a little bit of attention, but not much that they cannot
That was a
handle.
little
They're able
nerve-wracking
to
for them.
Rehold their position. Shark and Teeny moving out yet again. They've been denied that opportunity for the high ground, but they're staying in front of the zone. That's going to be the most important thing.
Thought for a moment Phoenix Retro would maybe start to get a little entangled there with where Sharktini were at, but a hold back. It's Pete,
For an interview,
Poyo.
dude.
They have
Walmart
really
does
been
these
going
group
through it
interviews.
here,
If I have a
Jacob.
group interview,
Pete
I'm gonna
not being
fucking
able to
lose my
actually open up
shit.
these shots against Shadow when they initially made this rotate towards the front side of zone, and they are quickly dwindling on their materials also. But Izzy, Nosif, they've managed to head right back up to the skies, and they are currently bearing down on the rest of the lobby. Hari, Cammy even gonna have to protect themselves now, but obviously Shark, Teeny, they are not content with seeing anyone else holding the position that's been doing so many dividends for them in these first couple of lobbies.
And I think they've even noticed Bofu and Tamat up at the top, forcing them down.
He's got
below. They have a
400 bullets.
sliver
He's
of
gonna be
HP
raining
left.
down on
Right
them
decision for
forever.
them to make, but it
Bofu
was
gets
just a
knocked.
little bit too late. Nosif is able to clean up that elimination. Z-Dog cleans up the other. That's another team out of this game, and you still have 2 more to go before you even start.
Sharktini, go for the height.
For high ground will begin. Shark and Teeny will take what's theirs for the 3rd straight game.
All Shark needs is a little bit to work with, and enforcing.
He's got so many
Izzy and
mats.
Nosif to drop is such a big damage spend for the rest of this lobby. Pete, Poyo on their last legs, barely having an opportunity to try and restore some of their shield, but without any builds to their name, they are going to depend entirely on how well placed these next couple of shots can be, and can they avoid the exchange from somebody else on the other end.
Peterbot's gonna get
of the barrel.
knocked here.
It's a no-go for Peterbot. He's gonna get brought down inside the underbelly of this lobby. Is now Booga Braids also on just 1 build, hoping that it's not gonna be their last.
Yeah, just everybody kind of feeling how chaotic the end game has been. They're just burning through their materials. Even after they get the elimination, pick up the siphon, they're almost immediately down to 0 as Booga picks up that one onto Epic. Well, Vico goes down, but it might be a sacrifice to draw attention away from Malabuka, allow him to start that heal off. With 9 teams left, Taco, make it 8. There's 2 solos running around that are the
Poyo
wild
finally
cards.
goes down, so that's Peterbot Poyo dead again, bro. I think they only got like 20 points in that game.
They're still making their presence known inside of those lower
Holy
layers.
shit, I'm
Doing a great job
tired.
at staving everyone everyone else in the lobby, preventing anyone from actually.
Imagine they want me to start
their
tomorrow.
builds,
That
and
would
no
suck
finding
ass.
Another one onto Goofy. The Siphon
Oh,
material
I mean, the
gonna pay
sooner the
so
better, but
heavily for him. In fact, Goofy, G-Dog is going to be able to get away just like that. Izzy and Nosif with 9 eliminations already.
Yeah, the French fighters are doing it and doing it well. They're trying to go into double digits. That's 30 points off eliminations alone. If they can make that a possibility, and they're soaring into the top 5, make it top 4. Braids and Booga on the other side, and they get cut short yet again. Izzy and
Nosif are popping off in this game. It's a 2v2, but it's probably Shark and Teeny.
It's Shark, it's Teeny, and Shark is already jumping down below. He's trying to take the fight by himself. I don't know if Teeny got the memo because he's just a little bit too late to the fight. Izzy taking a lot of damage, finally lands a shot onto Teeny, trying to disrupt the flow that they have going on. Shark returns to
Shark, Izzy, and Nosif get the dub. Shark, Teeny die. Look how disappointed he is.
You can tell that Shark and Teeny are not happy about how that one actually ended up, but they are cheesing for Izzy and Nosif. It was just a dominoes effect for this duo.
All right, I gotta check my email again. Sorry. Fucking Walmart. Okay. Inbox.
Are squeaking in. I don't think people give these guys the respect that they deserve with how well they've been playing in some of these big moments.
It's just crazy to think about the favorable formats. You would almost think for Izzy and Nosif, ever since we saw them make their debut at the Summit LAN, it seems like these guys just knew that they had so much more left in the tank to give, and it's so crazy to see them bring home game number 3, because these early breakout points, that's what's really going to help funnel into maintaining position inside of the top 7 by the end of today.
Just big moments there. Shark and Teeny, though, we saw it in the first 2 games. No team kind of went for high ground, but they did. Let's listen to Izzy and Nosif.
Essaie de build, s'il te plaît. 0-0. Ok, je monte. Bye. Je marche pas. Bye. Passe. Ok, nice. J'attends le deuxième, je suis sur le top. En 40. Faut l'enculer, mort. Nice. Nice, frère.
It's such a great job there. I love also the way that they read it like a book. Shark and Teeny were trying to stagger the way that they actually made their approach, but Izzy and Nosif just did such a great job, one after the other, not allowing any weaknesses in their defenses there.
Yeah, honestly, just the way they've been playing. They have the crowd on their side. Almost anytime, you were talking about Pablo and Chino, anytime they're on screen, anytime they're picking up eliminations, they have the entire crowd erupting. But just the big thing to notice, I know at one point we saw 11 eliminations. I'm not sure if they got a couple more on Shark Teeny or if I just saw the total at the end. But either way, Taco, that is a minimum of 33 points off straight eliminations alone. When we get to see the leaderboard, I expect to see this team near the top 10 at least.
They've definitely boomed the leaderboard. That is a given. And not only that, but I think that they've
I basically have 2 hours. I should have said 3 o'clock, but I just wanted to get it over with.
Look at what their score was at the start of this game. They were
all right, I'll be right back.
30-point section. It wasn't really necessarily what they were hoping for, but obviously we've also got a direct interview with these guys on the scene, so let's hear it.
Thank y'all so much. Fun little fact here. We've got Phoenix, we've got Retro. This is actually their first LAN ever. Guys, how does it feel to be your first LAN in this kind of context with this crowd? Let me know.
It feels great. The pressure is definitely high, but it's nice to be doing well when we're conned and it's going rough off spawn, but we're still able to make it into end game and make the games that we have count.
What about you?
I'm just trying to not psych myself out and, play how we normally play and just perform the best we can.
How do you guys do that? How do you make sure that in these high pressure situations, because anytime something happens, you're hearing the crowd, they're right there. So how do you stay locked in those moments?
I just try to tune out the noise and I just pretend like I'm playing at home in my own environment, and it works.
Obviously, this is a big moment for you guys. First LAN and a VR, massive for you in terms of momentum. I'm sure there are people going to be watching you thinking, hold on, we should be their fans. What would you guys say to those fans?
I just want to thank everyone for supporting me, and I would like to, I don't know, just kind of appreciate everyone who's supported me this, like, so far.
You?
Yeah, I just wanted to thank everyone that supported me and believed in me from the start, and yeah, you know.
You can hear them. They're already going crazy for y'all. Talk to me about, you guys talked about being conned, though, okay? So what's the plan? How are we looking to address that? Are we looking to maybe change things up? You don't have to give away too much, but what are we thinking?
I mean, it's been working fine so far. So like, we're just gonna keep playing it. They aren't 50ing us, so it's a little difficult to like bring the fight to them. But going into Slurp Rush in the next couple games, we're unconned, so it's looking pretty good for us.
Unconned. That's gotta be a big shift, right? Like, is that what you're hoping and looking forward to?
Yeah, we went into the tourney hoping that we were unconned, and we were conned. But, you know, sometimes things don't go your way, and we're just playing our game and seeing how things go.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much. Best of luck in Slurp Rush and being uncontested. For now, we'll go to a short break. We'll see you in just a minute.
Everyone is playing, you're not yet. EWC Play is your all-in-one platform to compete in fantasy, pick'em, and quests for a grand total of $300,000 in prize pool. Build your dream fantasy team in 5 different games and track your score with live results tables. Predict the winner of every game, every group stage, and every tournament. Complete daily and weekly challenges to earn boosters that help you climb the global leaderboard. Got what it takes? Join EWC Play now.
Three matches have gone by for Group A, and we have gotten some surprises already from the get-go. But Nosif and Easy, Vivid being able to join us. Kelly, Levin, the 7WG, welcome back. We finally decided to come inside. But this match, I mean, for this squad, especially that just ended up winning, being able to bounce back, too, from those first 2 matches.
I mean, for Izzy and Nosif, this is incredible stuff because as Levin knows, you know, big EU connoisseur himself, it was all about qualifier 4 for these guys. Like, it was an incredible clutch for them. This is where they actually made it to the EWC. So it took them all the way into that last qualifier to actually make it here. And then to show up in game number 3 and get that win and now sit in 2nd place on the leaderboard. I mean, Kelly, this is an incredible story.
Listen, I know that Levin's feeling good for EU right now, but I feel like Coach Harry, the first person to really call out this duo during the Reload Elite Series, is probably feeling pretty good. A lot of people were looking to this duo, and now all eyes are on them right now. We talk about how it seems like there's this new echelon of players that are kind of coming up and taking over a lot of our dominant veterans, and I think this might be another duo that does that.
No, absolutely. I think especially within EU, there's been a resurgence of French Fortnite this year, and I think when you're looking at, you know, 2 players who have been champions of that, you'd have to throw their name into the hat. Honestly, the fans here getting behind them. These guys aren't on any of the French clubs, but every single person in this crowd who has a French, you know, jersey on, the second these guys were on height, the second these guys were doing anything good, they were jumping, cheering, shouting. You just love to see the support they're getting right now.
You definitely love to see it, especially when players can get behind that as well, start feeling that energy, and start putting that towards the game series with that bounce back that we saw. But now we're going to talk about one team that really hasn't had to bounce back because they've just been so consistent at the top, and that is none other than Shark and Tini, being able to just do their thing this first 3 matches, it feels like.
Yeah, I feel like game 3 was the one that kind of did it for me here, Kelly, because, listen, you know, when we kind of looked up towards the high ground and they were on higher ground once more, I kind of just shrugged it off. I was like, how? How are they consistently doing it?
They were in game number 2, they were in Storm all the way until zone 5, zone 6. I was like, clearly they lost half of their health. All these people are going to be watching them come into zone. There's no way they're, oh, nope, they made it and they almost won the game. Cool. They do this time and time again. Are they just that much better than everyone else? And I think the comparison is even stronger right now because of how poorly a certain duo is doing.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about it, you want to go there, because I'm ready to go there. If you want to talk about, you know, the teams who I think we expected to do a bit better that aren't. Sure, we're gonna probably have to take a look at the next page of the leaderboard to get to some of those teams, but Shark and Teeny, it's been, I think if you're an EU fan, it's been exactly what you expected,
Exactly.
right? It's what they've done all year.
Yeah, we'll get a chance to talk about that duo that you guys are currently alluding to. But some of the other surprises, I mean, we just got a chance to hear from Phoenix and Retro 2 being their first LAN. Levin and Kelly, this is one of those things that sometimes it lets them get onto, the pressure just gets to these players. It's not looking like that so far.
I think the reality is these guys didn't come in, I think, with that much pressure, right? I don't think they had all of NA sort of looking at them going, you guys need to represent for us and deliver at the top level. It's allowed them to come into today, play their game. They've gone under the radar, and again, a very strong start. There's a lot of games to be played, right? So you don't want to get too ahead of yourself, but this is encouraging signs.
Thank you, Levin, for kind of bringing up the conversation of NA, because unfortunately for NAC specifically, I mean, Phoenix and Retro are actually carrying that conversation right now. The only team from NAC in that top 10 was actually Booga and Braid sitting there in 9th place. So let's go ahead and take a look at the second page here, right? Where are these teams actually standing? I mean, Shadow and Virgo, these guys got to pick it up. I mean, 12th place, Muzz and Sphinx, these guys got to pick it up. And then Kelly, the duo that I'm sure you are begging to talk about. I mean, Peterbot and Pollo down there in 17th place, 33 points.
How could we not talk about this duo? This is the duo that's been on everyone's name, not just in the Reload Elite Series, but in the FNCS. They won 3 of the finals, and they got 2nd place. And to see them not just doing poorly, but at the bottom of the barrel, I'm not trying to, like, talk trash. I think this is shocking, and there's something going wrong.
It is shocking, but I think, you know, I can sit here and dunk on Pete and Pollo all day long, right? I know people think I want to do that. The reality is, these guys are 2 of the best players in the world. When you look at a lot of their year so far, they've had a lot of performances like this where it's very slow to start. I think the days of Peterbot and Pollo just sort of running at everybody and completely rolling them over, it's probably
Drinking a cup of
past
tea
those
as
days.
well.
However, they are still a team that you would pick to beat anyone when it comes to a fight. And so I think they need to just sort of take some time to reset. I don't think they're over. I don't think they're finished. I don't think they're washed. I just think this is a reality check that will be very good for them moving forward.
All right, Levin, I see what you're cooking there. You don't want to trash them too much. It could be too early to wave that red flag for some of their squads.
Interview. Give me 1 second. I'm going to double check the interview thing or the email. Like, you're not going to confirm, like, dude, honestly, what is this person's job? People lead is what their name is, what their position is. And they apparently have no idea how to deal with people. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I know, this is getting me motivated. Maybe I have to throw the old headset back on, Lev. Thank you very much for that. Listen, actually, I want to bring up a conversation that me and Levin had just not too long ago, talking about this comeback from Peterbot and Pollo. We kind of gave them a number of games that they could kind of clutch up, right? And Levin called it, he was like, listen, they could probably throw away like 6 games and they could still pull it off because we know what Peterbot and Pollo are capable of. So confident in Peterbot and Pollo's capability that me and Levin kind of both agree that they could get into the top 7 with just 4 good games.
But it seems like everyone is stepping up right now. There are so many teams surprising us, stepping up, coming in here with a game plan. And I wonder if maybe this is a bit of the hubris of Peterbot and Pollo coming into this thinking that they were going to run away with it. However, they love to build a story. They love to go to day 2. I don't think we're going to see them in the bottom 3. So if we do see them in that elimination round in 2 days, that might just be the story they want to build.
That will be crazy. Yeah, nobody's going to be expecting that from talking to you guys every single time I keep hearing them. Falcons is going to be going straight to finals. Right now, it's not looking likely, but one team that is looking likely to make it to the finals is Leviathan with Lava and Romero. They've been performing good so far.
I'm a big fan of the Brazilian region. These guys are 2 Argentines who, they've been making waves, man. They've done so well in the qualifiers over there. And I think when you just look at the way they've actually played, especially when I look at Romero, I mean, he has had some qualifier finals where he's just tearing it up. And genuinely, we spoke about it before the tournament, Kenny. I was like, if there's one team I'm looking at how they perform. I think these guys have, you know, the ability to really go all the way in this competition.
We always like to talk about smaller regions and how they're underrepresented in these LAN settings, but Brazil, time and time again, always steps up, always proves themselves to being able to compete with the best of the best in NAC and EU. So to see them do that again is absolutely wonderful.
I feel like there's a little bit of a theme, though, in that top 5, right? We're obviously kind of highlighting some of these teams, and it's going to be the similar thing for Lua and Romero here is that fortunately for them, we've only gone through 3 games so far. So a lot of these top 5 teams right now, all of their points are actually off of just one singular good game. Like if we take a look at their match history, it's a 14th, a 2nd, and 11. So pretty much all of their points are kind of just coming from that 2nd place with 7 eliminations. And that's kind of the theme with a lot of these teams in that top 5. So even though these teams are towards the top of the leaderboard right now, outside of like Shark and Teeny, nobody has actually really found their footing to be consistent in multiple matches so far. So even though the leaderboard is kind of shaken up and we're not seeing a lot of things that we are used to seeing, I feel like it's going to start to switch up very, very soon.
I'm glad you brought that up because it is going to be all about that consistency, especially once we get to the finals with match point. And right now with what we're seeing, our Shark and Teeny is outstanding. Now, if we flip the switch, right? Any team that has actually surprised you, whether it's good or bad so far after 3 matches.
All right, listen, at the start, game number 1, Muzz and Sphinx came out there. We saw the solo clutch coming out as well, and I thought that that was going to be the start of it. It has not been the best 2 games after that, but I want Muzz and Sphinx to come back up, man. Muzz is a fan favorite for so many people, and Sphinx has to be one of the funniest players in the world. I want to get an interview out of them at least just one time.
Maybe we'll get a chance to get an interview. I know, talking about interviews, one person
doesn't even look like Peterbot and Poyo are gonna make it.
I'm surprised he's even here too. Pure Gasly.
Kind of mind blowing. Nobody like.
I really want to
you had asked anybody.
Pierre
If
Gasly,
Peterbot and Poyo were going to make it to top 7, they would have said,
where all the FORTNITE action is taking
who is
place.
this guy?
What did you think of it?
Yeah, it's insane, I must say. It's such a joy. I love gaming again myself, and it's the first time that I get the chance to attend such an event. So no, it's incredible to see the player, to see I appreciate the game. I appreciate, you know, the sort of level that you see, and no, it's very, very impressive, very joyful. It's quite a packed day for me. I wish I could just like sit around and just watch all the gameplay, but very cool event.
As someone who's used to performing under pressure, like any words of advice that you could have for these pros that are performing on stage right now as you speak?
They know what they're doing. I mean, you can see it. It was quite impressive, like just how chill and how relaxed. You can see the focus, you can see the concentration, like very quick moves, etc. I was trying like to look at all these little details, but then I really like the strategy and like the sort of like teamwork, and yeah, just appreciate the precision. I game myself more like Call of Duty. I do a bit of Fortnite as well, but more Call of Duty, and I know the thrill, the excitement, and just to see it to that professional level is very cool.
As people say, ball knows ball. Thank you so much, Pierre Gasly. I really appreciate your time, and enjoy the rest of EWC. Thank you.
Shark and Teeny, Phoenix and Retro, Izzy and Nosif, 3 games and 3 game winners, and almost all of them are inside of that top 7 as well.
And it's exciting to think about because we could be looking at
let's look at the
leaderboard
really quick.
4 teams that are outside of that threshold, but at the same time, everyone
So top
still
7, we got
has
Shark,
to
Teeny,
make
Easy,
sure that they
Nosif,
don't hit
Shikari,
that
Hemi,
autopilot feature.
Phoenix,
So
Retro,
my biggest takeaway from that little
Luay,
segment that we just witnessed,
Romero,
I might
Z-Dog,
let
Goofy,
them
and
start
Vico
to be like
Malabuca.
my hype man.
But they're only in the lead. There's only 6 points between 7th and 8th. So really still anybody's game if they have a pop-off game. Really anybody's game. So like up to like top 16, it's pretty much anybody's game. Peterbot and Poyo need to step it up though. They're having some really poor games. 18th, 19th, and 9th. Not looking the greatest.
These guys have an immense amount of skill. We just need to use the last 6 games of the day to put it to the test. As Malibu starts firing off early with the first elimination of the game. A little bit of a tough break there.
That's huge for them. They actually may be able to take Romero out, which would be devastating for them.
Not looking to slow down anytime soon.
Peterbot gets tagged up real hard.
On the receiving end of some damage. Pete, though,
No builds.
scramble right now. He needs to get Pollo back up and running. Chino gonna head straight into his clutches. Pollo has managed to touch ground, but Pete will be quickly eliminated. And it's
Peterbot does get that elimination though, so that's a good 3 points for them. They need every point they can get. Not sure where Pollo is.
Yeah, that was close. That was close. From Pete and Pollo being eliminated first out of game 4. And honestly, this is like a refreshed Vico and Malabuka. I had a chance to talk to them for a few seconds. I was telling them, like, passing these games are absolutely crazy. And I said, no one's really going up for height. And you know what Malabuka said? You better expect to see ups at high ground if we make it towards the end game. And already they're showing a huge change up when it comes to the confidence early.
Like, always easier said than done, right? Especially when you've got teams like Sharkantini that have just been so consistent at holding it down. But Muzz, this is a rare sight, losing the Bloom battle, and Malabuka just immediately closing in. Only needs one more well-placed shot to be the end of the line here for Muzz, and that's gonna do it. Malabuka with a clean finish. And
Eliminated
Muzz
Sphinx and
just
Muzz down.
Back over to where Sphinx is at.
No, they aren't.
Quick 9 points for them.
That was a misstep by the broadcast because there's still 40 players.
They are the line to beat as of now, but already at the course of the game, they move up into 6th place, passing Z-Dog and Goofy. Cringe, Voco, they're still having the same early game fights, just a whole different team. It's Nalu and Rainy this time around.
Why do they keep saying eliminated duo, dude? They must not understand how this works.
Will Malabuka be able to swing his way out of this one, though? PH Zen trying to make sure that he can actually shut down one of EU's best, but Malabuka knows shots from both ends of the spectrum, and he won't be able to escape it this time. A great sandwich there by Edson and PH Zen to shut him down. And Malabuka, though, he already had his fun at the end of it, Jacob. Getting those 3 eliminations was a very nice start to the lobby, but I like the fact that you kind of pointed out that they're feeling very confident in terms of trying to send it towards that high ground in the end game opportunities. Still, you have to wonder, anytime that it goes south even slightly, it's just like a dominoes effect. All it takes is that one little hiccup.
That's a crazy South Bowl. Like, honestly, like, I would say over 50% of the circle's not even in, like, on the map. It's like all in the water.
Of the zone, it's outside of the map on the south side, so we know for the most part we could have things jumping right back up towards the center, but this goes that early game start. Romero got dropped first, Malabuka was able to get 2, and then this final one onto Muzz, the 9-point swing to move them up a whole place throughout the course of the game. Peterbot, we saw him go down early on with 0 eliminations, or let's just say 1. Now he's picked up 2 more, so they're just trying to go ahead and put themselves to the test. Talk about Levin said maybe they could throw away 6 games. Well, they might be able to throw away 6 games, but Peterbot and Pollo don't want to throw away 6 games.
Hey, it's always Pete Pollo. You just can't be worried about these guys until you actually see them in this sort of position, and we're maybe in our last 3 games of the game.
Peterbot has 3 eliminations this game, though, so he's kind of doing pretty good.
A little bit worried about how they're going to actually wind up.
Why does he have a first over his name?
They'll be at after all 10 matches played through today. Shadow and Virgo, though, roller coaster of emotions for these two. They've seen some highlights, and then there's just been the dips back down. It's just very difficult for them to get that consistency rolling.
Yeah, it's kind of telling it. You know, look at their journey here. In the first qualifier, they got 6. They missed out on actually qualifying. The second qualifier, they missed out on the finals lobby completely. And then they qualified in qualifier 3 inside, I think, a top 4 finish. And then the 4th qualifier, again, they missed out, which just kind of shows that they can hide.
Where's Malabuka?
They have lows. They're a team that
Malabuka's alive, just not here.
They need to continue that here in today's games.
And that's exactly it. Momentum being the key word, because you see Shadow or Virgo get even 1 elimination, all of a sudden they are racking up the count. But obviously, we'll have to see whether or not that actually ends up being their fate in this game. Right now, Vico looking to apply a little bit of pressure towards Nalu. And Vico Malabuka, this is definitely confidence. Just kind of oozing from both of them. Vico gets 1 already. Nalu was rather injured before he even got to apply the shot, but now Rainy on the ropes here, not trying to get fully wiped this early on. They still want a fighting chance, and Vico knows it, and he's looking to shut that down immediately.
Yeah, he had to go back for the build, get no material left, but he realized he's on a clock if he wants to get this team fully out of the lobby. But Rainy goes down instead of getting eliminated, so you know he's bought Nalu enough time to at least get back attack in the game. And if you guys don't know, since they're fighting so far outside of the zone, instead of the teammate rebooting above you, that only happens when you're in the safe zone. So he rebooted somewhere inside of the map, far away from his teammate, so he really had no chance to help him either way.
Is there something wrong with his headset?
Doesn't really seem too pressed by it. Will be able to pick up nice little make it off the vending machine, and Mofu and Domad don't really seem to notice that he's actually rather close by. They're a little bit more fixated on just making their own rotations. Again, just another one of those teams, international representation. They've managed to secure a top 3 already in today's competition. Just 1 or 2 more of those, and that could be what sets them up for that top 7 finish.
Yeah, they're not too far away from where the bubble actually is, so they just need to continue to keep at it. And we had talked about to kind of start the day, nerves might be playing a little bit of a factor from some of these teams, but it's happening to everybody little by little, especially the ones that might be running out of time. You saw the loadout. The mythic Wrecker Revolver, which packs a punch from far away. So when this team does eventually try to play for that high ground, it is going to hurt from a bit of a distance.
Pablo Chino, though, just operating at their own pace. Launchpad nearby. They'll start to rotate. They've got the whites to work with, but Vico, another little run back. This very aggressive instance. And it's just impressive knowing that Malabuka also has full confidence in his Fragger, that Vico is going to close that fight out 9 times out of 10. And that's a daunting fact when you are one of those teams like Rainy and Alu and realizing, dang, we just got shut down by one guy.
Yeah. It's just one of those tough things that start to play on you mentally. But as we look at Cammy and Hari, I know they were talking about a lot of teams in today's games. I know it's only been 3, rather kind of inconsistent outside of maybe Shark and Teeny, but Cammy and Hari are another one of those teams you got to give a little credit to. 2nd place in the first game, 3rd place in the last one, 18th in the middle, and then a total of 8 eliminations. So they're making sure that they stay above and ahead of the curve, or at least as far as right now goes. Booga and Braids not too far away from the zone, just trying to grab that med kit before they use that launch pad to go in. Since they are so high up, they're going to have that bird's eye view. They can assess the situation and try to bring in all that information so they know exactly where they actually want to drop. And for Booga and Braids, it's not too far off when the launch pad actually is.
Makes sense, though, for Booga to immediately cut it short. He recognized the fact that Pablo Chino were very quickly closing in on their position. Not only that, but that little scuffle taking place with Shark Teeny, Cammy Hari. They didn't want to risk finding themselves stuck in the air and just getting tagged up along the way.
I honestly don't think this woman's gonna message me back on I'm just consuming my thoughts right now. I don't think she's gonna message me back, so I'm just gonna show up and be like, I'm here for an interview, and no, I can guarantee you not a single person's gonna have any clue what's going on except for the one manager that does the interview. So I'll be like, I'm here for an interview. They'll be like, okay. Like it's just, I've dealt with this shit so much in my life that I just know how these companies do things, and communication is just not a strong point for them.
So left the fallback and wait for Khaled to instead help him out. But Izzy, that was all the time he needed.
Yeah, but this is still essentially a 2v1, even with NoSif back in the game. Remember, I said you don't reboot over your teammate when they're in the zone. They're safe right now for NoSif, so you can see him trying to do what he can.
It's crazy that that guy
get some loot that way.
had 50 consistent 50 viewers on YouTube, and then he just gave up on it.
In the mini-map making his appearance, so he doesn't stray too far away. He knows there's a huge strength.
Peter Bot Pollo on the side. Booga Braids really close by. Let's see if they rotate in. Peter Bot Pollo still have a decent distance to go. They have the Grappler. The Grappler is not that great for the builds style of gameplay. For ZB, it's broken. And I imagine for like build pubs reload, it's probably also kind of broken.
And that could come back to haunt them later on in this lobby, Jacob, because we haven't even hit reboot shutting off just yet. And for Booga and Braids, they're going to need a refresh of material if they want to be left standing by the end game.
Yeah, but they're not just too far away from that 7th place spot. They started the game in 9th. They were down about 7 points to Vico and Malabuka, but we saw how their early game went. So Booga, Braids, just trying to play the long game, it seems like. Maybe like a few others. Retro and Phoenix, same thing could be said for them. They were able to get that victory royale in game number 2, but it's just a lack of being able to kind of do it again, or at least get close. They have a 17th and a 10th in their 2 other games, but they did have the eliminations with that victory royale, which kind of boosted them up the leaderboard. So you got to make sure to close out maybe inside of the top 10, top 5, if you're looking to stay within contention of that top 7.
Hey, fair play though to Vico and Malabuka. Nice little rotate in, glide through, cut the cord, play it safe, take over front side, and refarm anything that you can along the way. Even though they were pretty much max material, every little bit helps at this stage. And just knowing that they've prevented Peterbot and Poyo from having that freedom to just sort of immediately send it straight ahead. They are going to have to be very cognizant of where Vico and Malabuka are at, or at least get some good damage application in to prevent them from looking back and spraying their direction.
Let's see where the zone actually forces a lot of teams, but most of them spread out. Except for the Muzz, M-Shari, Izzy, Nosif, Cringe Volko, Rainy even there. Not too far away from Nalu, so you got to be careful not to get caught as a solo. You see Nosif going through that pain, just trying to shockwave to safety here. And since we are in the 7th zone, nobody will be rebooted. That goes down here, but there is chances for teams
a full
to get
lobby.
the game if they were already down before they turned off.
Definitely a tough break.
Nobody with a max rotate, but there are a couple teams. I think Peterbot Poyo are the team on the top, the north. Yeah, they are. They have a decent distance to go in comparison to most of the other players, so they have a lot of players to worry about on that rotate. It's not looking the greatest for them, unfortunately.
Possible when you've got teams like Chino, Pablo, already just waiting for the prime opportunity to strike. Booga and Braids, though, actually going to
nice easy rotate for them, actually. Didn't get tagged up at all.
take up a little bit of damage there. They got White
Looks like they're going for height.
More importantly still, avoiding all
Heaney
of
gets
this
some elimination on a Shadow, which is not good for them. Shadow Virgo. Virgo's now left as a solo.
Shadow, that was not the way to go.
Team does finally go down.
Gonna be a heartbreaking loss right there. 12 planes for Shadow and Virgo. They got separated, putting a lot of pressure onto one to try to find success. Pump feeling the same type of pressure being poured his way. It's Peterbot and Poyo. They know the damage is
Pablo
there,
gets
but it
that
actually gets
limb.
stolen away. Pablo Ingu is able to get the knock on the Pump. Epicwell is going for a revive.
Somebody dropped
comes
them.
in onto Pete and Poyo, distracting them just long enough for that revive to be an actual possibility.
Epicwell maybe even counting his lucky stars that he was able to pull that one off. Sometimes it's indirect help from the lobby, but all the better still. And it was still kicking here. Izzy, Nosif, great job concealing themselves. Didn't get the damage application they wanted against Z-Dog and Goofy, but
Just SMGs spraying everywhere because there's so much ammo in reload that everybody should be at like 400 roughly SMG ammo, so they're just able to spray endlessly. It's kind of crazy.
keep these walls closed off.
Literally just melted through all of that brick. Still have a decent amount left, and especially one elimination could definitely change things. For Pablo and Chino, they started this game in 8th place with the 89 points, and they've been slowly but surely rising up the rankings. Still have to be careful though, because
Nosif getting taken down.
that are now feeling a little loose.
So Peterbot's at 5 eliminations this game, which is really good for them. Able to build up. He's still got 74 builds, looking up to see if anybody's above. So Poyo and Peter looking pretty solid in this game. He's going to spray up at the teams that are launching.
That is nothing compared to how well they can play.
Like, there's a method to the madness when it comes to these two, that's for sure. But for Vico and Malabuka, they just continue to find success after success. And for Pete and Poyo, sure, it's one thing to overthrow the team on height. It's another, though, to actually see it through, especially when Shark and Teeny are still in the lobby. Vico Malabuka also going to look to try and stake their claim towards this position. And with Pete, Poyo already having those 5 eliminations, though, it is evident, Jacob, that they are going to hunt out as many as they can find.
Still just spraying.
Take out Cammy there for a moment,
He still has like 200 bullets, so he's running out of ammo, but they're still looking really solid.
Still choosing to kind of operate through these low front side positions, but eventually they are going to have to look back. Pablo even taking so much space here. He's got the medkits though. He can afford to claim it.
Yeah, worthwhile sacrifice of the HP making sure they can get a little bit more space to work with. Peterbot
He only has 160 bullets left right now, which is not the greatest.
Anybody that could potentially try to go for the high ground, and I have my eyes on two, but they're busy with Epic Well Puff. Shark and Teeny being forced off the side yet again, kind of thwarting any plans that they have.
Teeny going down.
So now with Epic Well is able to get the knock on to Teeny, cannot clean it up though. Shark is able to at least save him for now.
I'm gonna be so upset. I'm not gonna be able to finish this. Because I don't think it's a 6-game format. They said something about 350 points, and then after you have 350 points, you need to win. Or maybe that's the survival mode. I don't know. We'll see.
With Teeny, and that plan has now been thwarted. That's going to also overexpose. Peterbot's going to drop from height, but he'll have no issues whatsoever reconnecting to where Pollo is at. It's just knowing that Shark and Teeny didn't get the chance to actually fizz crash pad up, and that's going to be a big swing now. Vico, Malabuka are going to have to make this attempt all on their lonesome, and with very little material to work with, they just got to take care of what's right in front of them.
Yeah, I know he had his eyes on that high ground, but as you said, low materials, that might not be a possibility any longer. Chino forced down below. It's Peterbot and Pollo, the ones that are going to take down Pablo. Vico as well, that's going to get all of that loot and kind of steal it away. As Chino staggering back, 0 builds. He needs the perfect elimination here. Shockwave to try to get into the front, but it only puts him in the limelight. He is facing danger left and right. A full team in the box. It's Buka and
I was gonna say, who is that?
end their run.
They had no idea who was just scrambling inside of that box with them, but hey.
Pollo gets knocked. Vico's popping off. Peterbot goes down. Malabuka takes down Peterbot. They had a decent game, but it's not enough. They really needed to win here.
Even if he doesn't have any materials to work with, he'll farm them out along the way, but more importantly still,
Buga going down.
They won't get the chance. Malabuka, Vico refusing to budge.
Back into our top 3 we go. Vico and Malabuka. He kept his word. He said he's going for high ground, and so far he has.
He just fell to his death.
The Splat! I spoke too highly of him. He goes down, leaving Vico by himself.
Vico could clutch this up. He gets the siphon. Extra mats. He's got decent mats for this 1v1 situation.
He's buying everything that he has down below on the other side. Edson from Brazil, qualifying from their region, bringing it down to this moment here. His teammate going down, putting all the pressure on him to succeed. Vico, on the other hand, has overthrown him, has taken the high ground. 3 builds left, shockwaving down, trying to
Nice tag, but it's not going to be the greatest tag. He does get the elimination. Vico Malabuka get game number 4.
Malabuka, you just know that he's got to be feeling so relieved right now, because that was nearly a sell that you do not want to witness on the big stage. Instead, they can laugh about it later, knowing that they were still able to secure the victory royale.
Vico's a little bit of a character, that's for sure.
Very comfortably inside that top 7 threshold.
I was scared for them in a moment. I was scared watching Malabuka slip off. I thought maybe he had the shockwave, but then he splats onto the ground. And for Vico to kind of just brush that off very, very quickly and immediately go to work to not only get
Peterbot, they just go into Peterbot. They just look so defeated. He's like, stop looking at me. He's like, get this fucking camera off of me.
They are reigning, defending FNCS Major 1 Summit Land champions.
And look, don't get me wrong, Vico had 17 builds more to work with than Edson in those.
Alright, I gotta check my email again. Fucking Christ. When you arrive at the store, please go to the customer service desk and inform the associate you are here for an interview. Sure. I'd like to be more excited. I'm just not. Really don't want to work for Walmart again, but I have no choice. I mean, I'll still be one of their top employees within the first, like, probably 2 months, 2 to 3 months, like, easy. It's not even a competition, like, literally.
We know Sharktini, Peter Bottenpoyo, Vico, Malabuca, and so many
It's such an easy job, and from what I've seen at their store, like, I'm already, like, way overqualified. I treat everybody equally, like, when I'm there. Like, I don't treat anybody like they're less than. But I'm not gonna lie, some of their employees are completely fucking useless.
From Game 4. Don't go anywhere, because we'll be right back.
It's really not that hard. Like, retail is probably one of the, and somebody would probably want to punch me in the face for saying this, but it depends on what your position is. If you're a store assistant manager, department manager, assistant store manager, or store manager, like, those jobs are hard. Being a retail employee at a Walmart is not hard. Like, unless you work at certain Walmarts that have a heavy traffic, right? Because there's some of that stuff, like, where they're dealing with thousands of customers every single day. Like, that can be strenuous because there's a high demand on stocking shelves and stuff. But even so, like, anybody that says stocking shelves is hard is fucking lazy.
You're done.
Like, it's so easy.
The Esports World Cup are unreal. We had to get amongst it, Vivid. How are we feeling, guys? We're feeling good. I think everyone's feeling pretty good. That's a good sign.
That's weird.
The games so far, Vivid. I mean, they've been unbelievable. Worthy of all this hype.
Absolutely.
Why is this guy looking at the camera?
At the end there with an incredible
I guess I wouldn't even know what to do. Kind of weird.
To sit in the stands and everybody was getting so hyped. I had to go ahead and take a pause. I was like, what's happening up on the big screen? Of course, it's going to be Vico and Malabuca making a rise up to the top of the leaderboard. What was it? They had like 95 points going into that game. Gosh, I could only imagine where they're at now.
I mean, that's just a classic Vico solo clutch right there. It's what we're used to with this guy. He does it on the big stage, the Summit Champions. Another thing as well, Peter Bottenpoyo, you're the sort of NA expert, the resident NA expert here. Is this sort of what we can expect from Peter Bottenpoyo now? Are they starting to grow into the competition?
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the leaderboard. Have they done enough to even jump up to the top 10? No, they have not. Actually, I was preparing myself, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're up on the high ground. It's looking good for them. Like, they're on 33 points going into this game. But no, still not enough there. But good to see that they're taking control of some of the end game at the very least.
Top 7 is 124 points.
Buka and Braids. Who called these guys? There it is. Okay.
Peter Bottenpoyo did jump up the leaderboard. They're now at 87 points at 13th, which is not bad. 1 second.
Shout out to Clicks. He has something. He knows something. I think a lot of the people would have said Peter and Bottenpoyo are going to be the team to look out for, right? So, you know, I want to talk about Izzy and Nosif as well. What a performance from our French guys here on land. The vibes, honestly, are ecstatic. When those guys managed to get the win, it was like nothing else at all. Now, of course, you played on the biggest stages, right? You played the World Cup. You played on these massive stages. You're used to this sort of environment. If you're sort of further down on the leaderboard now, how do you approach this sort of latter half of the competition?
I've always been a super big fan of just sticking to what you know, because kind of like changing anything up would be detrimental, right? You know exactly what you have prepared for, so you got to go ahead and stick to it.
You really do. I mean, I'm ready for the next game. Are you guys around me ready for the next game? Are we ready, guys? Let's go to it.
Look, we are all ready to see what is going to take place. This is essentially the halfway point for Group A's competition. And right now, Jacob, we are starting to see just the tiniest gaps really starting to improve, particularly within that top 3 threshold. So right now, places 4 through 7, those are going to be the ones that are ultimately up for grabs. But these teams, they're kind of dependent on early departures from duos that are already within the safety net of qualing through to finals, but how do you shut them down? Do you risk it and go for an early fight off spawn and try to disorient your competition? Or do you just stick to your original strategy, see if you can come out strong, just playing with what you know?
I mean, I've always been one, if I'm going to win or lose a game, it's going to be something I did or didn't do. And already, Shark gets an elimination on the one and immediately gets shut down after. What I was kind of prefacing there is I would like teams to play aggressive. If you're not necessarily inside of that bubble, figure out a way to get points. Because playing for just placement so far hasn't necessarily worked. Just Gino finally goes down.
Gino he thought he was maybe dealing with one. Not the double pairing there from Ari and Cammy. That's a tough break.
Freaking interview.
They're also on the move. Alex, unfortunately, going to be taken out. They'll be forced into the viciousness of the reboot cycle. And not only that,
Nice. We're in game 5 at 12, so hopefully in the next hour and a half this will be over so that I can not be worried about missing it. I'll be upset. Only 3 teams today essentially don't qualify to play another round. So it would be absolutely devastating to be in the bottom 3.
Inside of that top 7 threshold, and obviously they're going to keep trying to keep the ball rolling, but also the world's kind of their oyster.
Yeah, and I feel like the only way
Peter Pollo probably will try to grief anybody that's in 7th or 6th or 7th.
To just not care anymore and
Swan, what up, dude? Yo. I'm chilling, man.
One of them teams that you look at and just
I'm chilling.
as we continue to look around, seeing where some of these
We're watching the EWC. It's a 4-day event, so it's like today, tomorrow, Friday, and then Saturday is the finals, but it's super fucking early. It takes place at like 7 a.m. 7 a.m. my time, like 6 a.m. Eastern time. So it's like I don't even know if I want to get up that early, but I did get an interview today though, so I got an interview for a Walmart position. But landscaping's not cutting it in terms of jobs and how many games are left? I'm not 100% sure because they say there's like a format, and I'm not sure if it's day 3's format or if it's the whole tournament, but there's a format where it's like you have to get 350 points, and after you get 350 points, or maybe the final day. Either way, top 7 qual. I'm assuming it's 6 games. But if you look at like their scheduling thing, it's kind of weird.
That was kind of one thing I was really scared at, and they're one of the teams that could potentially take it off. You look
but I think it's the final day. It's either the 3rd day or the final day where you have to get 350 points to win, and then you have to win a game after getting 350 points to win the tournament, which is kind of interesting.
Defending club champions, and then AGAL in second. You also have teams from Team Vitality in this can pick up some points, so it's still anybody's tournament in terms of the club championship.
It says 10 games, so if it's 10 games, there's no fucking way I'm going to be able to watch this whole thing today because I got an interview at 2 o'clock. That is unfortunate.
Any sort of room to breathe, but Jacob, Shark is very
That's so disappointing, but it is what it is. I got to get a job.
Just the way that he is.
I got to get a job.
He wants every single elimination point he can find. He is not happy right now with seeing Miko Malabuko.
So yeah, today's 10 games. 10 games. It's probably just because reload's faster than VR. I just assumed it was a 6-game format, but it's a 10-game format. Tomorrow's 10 games as well.
Taco, I think you said it best. This is just a whole nother team when they have nothing to lose, and it's going to be even more so that scenario because of this game alone. 24.
Yeah, so it's 10 games today, tomorrow, and Friday, and then Saturday is 15 games, I guess. But if you get 350 points, you can essentially take the whole thing if you get a win after, I guess.
Because players are basically just gathering
it's not really clear. Like, they don't really have the rules like on their website, on the EWC website, so it's kind of weird. Just gonna go to the Fortnite tracker and see if the rules are there.
That they could find any sort of a silver lining here. Shark and Teeny, though, just refuse to let go. They are talking these guys
No, they are
down,
not.
chasing them to the corners of the map every single time. And
Sure.
also for Vico and Malabuka, they're probably watching this elimination.
I'm learning as I go, though.
Right now,
Learning as I go.
understanding the fact
Dude, I'm like actually kind of bummed that I'm only gonna get to watch like probably 2 more games, 2 to 3 more games.
Yeah, and I will say the lucky thing though for Vico,
So it's like game 5, 6, maybe game 5, 6, and 7, and then I'm probably have to call it because I have to go to the interview at 2 o'clock. Job's a job. It's not gonna be the greatest paying job if I get it. It's not gonna be the greatest job if I get it, but at least I'll be making money. And then I can start like supporting people the way that I want, supporting myself and supporting people the way that I want to be. Like I don't have any money coming in right now, so the goal is to get the position, work really hard, and be like basically somebody that they rely on, and then get a better paying retail position. Because I'm pretty decent at retail. It's really easy. Especially Walmart. Like I'm not gonna lie, Walmart's probably one of the easiest retail positions as long as you're not working like in a really high traffic store or in like fresh departments. I feel like fresh departments would be kind of painful. So as long as I don't work in a fresh department, like the job itself is going to be like a cakewalk, I think.
Plenty of time for them to close the gap, but Spinks just gets tagged up on his way towards the outside of Elite Armory. Luckily for him, Muzz
oh, exactly.
not only fire back shots, but alleviate some of the pressure.
Like I need a job too. It's like I probably have like a couple more months
they do have access to the launch pad, so it's interesting the way they're
that I could like live without a job, but I don't want to go a couple more months without a job. Like I need a job, you know what I mean? Like I know you know what I mean, you know?
Even with Teeny going down, he's still moving forward.
Wait, why?
A little bit painful though for Shark, just knowing that he has to.
Are you serious?
Wait for Teeny to fully.
Like the pizza place?
Not trying to completely toss this 5th lobby out the window just yet.
Why the what?
Smart to disengage here.
Weren't you working your ass off like a couple months ago because you were covering for somebody that was injured? What the fuck?
Certain engagements when things have just already worked against you. Heads up moment.
Was it like a mutual thing, or did they just be like, we gotta let you go, like we don't have the money, or like?
And for good reason. They're trying to just play out their own game. They don't want to take any unnecessary risk because even if they get the elimination, they still might have to spend some time recovering. And
oh, okay.
Brings up a whole new slew of
so they just got rid of you for not following the law. That's crazy. That sounds like, honestly, when in these lower paying jobs, like that just is what they do, and that's what I'm nervous about, honestly, with Walmart, because Walmart does the same thing. Like they couldn't give a shit about. I probably shouldn't even like say it, like, but they don't. Like I've worked at Walmart before. Like I worked there for 3 years when I was younger, and I know from personal experience that it's the same thing. They don't care. So that's honestly super shitty. Like what the fuck? Honestly, that's like good for you, to be honest, because like fuck that. And that's kind of what I'll be doing. Like I'll work the initial 3-month probationary period, and if they aren't willing to like work with me, then I won't work for them. And I already know that I'm going to be better. Like I just know how I work in retail, and I know how the average retail employee works, and I already know that I'm leaps and bounds above them. And I'm not trying to shit on anybody, but I just care about doing a good job, and I care about treating people and customers right. So it's just guaranteed that I will be like a good addition to whatever team they want to put me on. Yeah, exactly. You can't be having health violations in a food place. Like that's just wrong on so many levels.
So definitely have some tricks underneath their sleeve. Not sure how
exactly.
to utilize that. But I know they're definitely
like that is so disgusting, honestly. You can't, yeah, no. Exactly. Yeah. I'm sure like you'll find a decent job. Honestly, like I am a believer of things happen for a reason. So I feel like this will benefit you in the long run. Like that's fucking crazy.
But obviously,
I mean, on the plus side, you'll be able to play as much as you want with new season coming around. I mean, just apply for some jobs every day and see what comes around, and then you'll be able to play and stream. And your streams have been popping off recently, so I think I definitely think it's for the best.
At any given moment, you could be next.
That's the thing about
That's
reload.
fucking crazy though.
Kind of just get tossed and turned, flipped upside down, shock waves, crash pads, launch pads. Anything can kind of change the trajectory of a game as they get an elimination on Tomas. Ari's actually going to get the
Of course.
the points. Is
Yeah. Yeah.
Steal away the loot. Rocket coming
100%.
Luckily for him though, he does have all
Yeah,
the sight
honestly,
pads down below, so it's easy
for me, it's like I've been
build his situation.
drinking a little bit
Pablo
just
that
to
he
go
needs to
out,
watch
like,
out for.
and
It's also Peter
talk to
Rock
women.
Pollo
Honestly,
that
that's the
if
only
there's
reason
no way
I drink.
Can definitely get a little bit
I wouldn't
dicey
drink
here,
otherwise, but
though.
I've also been taking like edibles. I can't smoke anymore for lung reasons, which is a benefit. But I'm done with the edibles as well. It's just such a waste of money. It's such a waste of money, and it just doesn't do anything. There's no benefit to it.
Measures, but Shark, he is just relentless with the pressure, just constantly bearing down.
Yeah, honestly, and that's the same, like, that's kind of the way I am with, like, weed. If, like, I want to, my brain I want to get stoned. But, like, I was for a little bit there, for, like, a month and a half. I've been off weed for, like, almost 2 years, and I started doing, like, edibles again. And I just can tell that I just, when I'm eating them, or taking them, I take them at night, and then the next day, I just don't want to do anything. It, like, carries over the next day, and then I just want to get stoned again, and it's not beneficial to me at all. Yeah, no, I can't really either, so I have to stop now before it gets too bad, and then I'm spending like $300, $400, $500 on edibles. So it's like I just don't want to be doing that.
That's a lot of fizz though for Vico.
It's like maybe one day if I'm like 70 years old and I have millions of dollars, maybe I'll start taking edibles again. But until that day comes around, like I'm done. Like I can't. Right? Like it's just too much money. But with drinking, it's solely to go get laid. Like that's like I have. Like my confidence out in public is pretty low. Like I'm very like introverted. So like I'll go out Friday night, have a few drinks, try to hit on some women, and then go home. Right? Like that's basically my plan for for a little bit. 100%. Dude, Shark and Teeny been popping off today, but the last couple games aren't looking the greatest. Teeny's down to 20 health. They have 222 points, but they're popping off. They're doing really well. They definitely qual. But there's 10 games, so there's still 5 more matches. But yeah, now it is half the battle realizing, like, I remember like having debates, like even when I smoked weed heavily, like I was like talking to people and they'd be like, oh, weed's like better for you, it's like healthy, it can be good for you, and it's like, no, you're smoking something, bro. Like you are smoking something. Smoke should never enter your body. It's never good for you. It does not matter what it is. So it's like anybody that's arguing that smoking in any shape or form is good for you is just wrong. Like in my opinion, and I was under that belief while I was smoking.
And this sea of duos, Pablo and Chino, have actually done a great job so far at claiming height.
Yeah, they just got to be able to step off that shoreline and go up the side.
Well, like smoking? Not anymore. That's just both. Dude, I mean, especially when you think about weed from like, yeah, with weed in general, it's like you think about weed in like the 60s, 70s, 80s, even the 90s. It was so much less powerful than it is today. So it's like, and same with edibles. It's like you can get a 150 milligram gummy, you can get a 300 milligram gummy, and it's like you eat that shit, you're gonna be out of it for days. Right? It's like it's just not even worth it. It's not even worth it at this point. For me, anyway. Like people can do whatever they want. Like if people find it fine, but you can do whatever you want. Like it's your life, you know what I mean? But man, he padded so high up that all the builds rendered out. All the players in the builds rendered out. That's actually kind of crazy. But yeah.
be sure you don't.
But yeah, I hope things definitely work out for you. I think they will. Again, I do think Teeny goes down at 17th,
He's able to take down Teeny, and
which is
they
good
have
for anybody that's below them.
momentum, or at least slowed it down as of
Peterbot and
now.
Poyo are alive at 87 points. They need a really good game here.
We're gonna see elite strongholds before we go on.
But there is still quite a few games, so the leaderboard can shake up quite a bit. With the 10-game format, leaderboard can shake up quite a bit.
Top 15 outside of placement points.
And Vico, Malabuka just doing a great job at tarping overhead.
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
Things rather difficult for teams to actually
Yeah, I do. Yeah, as I've said, like I do believe that things happen for a reason. Like I had a secured landscaping position coming into spring. They called me 2 weeks before, and they told me that I no longer have a position because the lung issue is considered a liability for them, and they didn't really need, like, it wasn't against the law the way they did it because I was already laid off. So they basically just told me that they didn't want me to come back, and I was like, whatever. I had some short-term landscaping positions, like contracted positions over the spring and summer, but nothing was like long-term. It was like 3 weeks here, a couple weeks here, so nothing crazy. So I was still making money, but at least if I get the Walmart position, I'll have like guaranteed. Most likely I'll get probably anywhere from 15 to 30 hours, which I'll take. I'll take right now. Yeah, steady income is key for sure. I'm hoping to find a full-time position, either a full-time position or a government, like a part-time government position, because I've been applying to like liquor stores and like government-owned weed stores, and they pay decent. Like if I was to get a job at a liquor store here, it's like $27 an hour. So that'd be huge. Even only working, like if I was only working 15 to 20 hours, that'd be as much as if I'm working full-time at Walmart for $16 an hour, you know? Seven. Is Peterbot Poyo still alive? Way high up in the ground. Poyo's on the low ground, taking storm damage. Peterbot drops down, still has high ground. This is a big game for them. They're actually they're flowing now. They're like in the flow state. It seems to be taking them a couple games recently for them to start popping off, but they seem locked in right now. They just went up like 40 points. They're in top 6. They have height. They have good positioning. They have good loot. They got the fizz. They're just lighting people down like a 5th. They've gone up to 5th place. So a couple more points come in. It's 3 points per elimination. So if they get the win, they'll get an extra like probably anywhere from 6 to 12 points depending on who they take down. Poyo gets a full elimination on the Shadow. Virgo's now left as a solo. Shadow gets taken down by Muzz. Honestly, what you telling me that you just did, I respect that a lot. Like basically, I'll work at Walmart until I can find either a full-time position somewhere, or a government-run business, because benefits and stuff tend to be pretty decent as well. Peterbot Poyo basically guaranteed to win game number 5 here. Dude, I feel like the leaderboard's going to be crazy towards the last few games. Dude, huge game for them. That was a huge game for them, actually. I'm going to look at the leaderboard. They went up to 7th. They were down in like 13th, 14th. Now they're up to 7th. So I would be shocked if Peterbot Poyo don't qual today. Because top 7 from today qual, top 7 from tomorrow qual. The bottom 3 are eliminated from today and tomorrow. And then 8th, I think they say from anywhere from 8th to 17th. Qual. Well, they don't qual, but they get into their like last chance, which takes place on Friday. So that'll be like 17 players, right? Was that 17 players? How many players is that? Wasn't my math. 9 players. I feel like my math's a little off here, but either way, from 8th to 17th, I think, qual for the final, or the final last chance, which is on Friday, for today and tomorrow. And then there's the official
for Pete and Poya, if they can just continue replicating.
And in that last chance or whatever it is, the top 3 teams from that qual for finals on Saturday.
That was the dagger of that line.
So you get.
So as they rise
Should be
up,
interesting.
saw Shark and Teeny go down
Should be really
relatively
interesting, actually.
early. We knew at
I want
one
to double
point
check that
Moog and
format,
Braves were
though.
rising up on the leaderboard. We know that Chino and Pablo were almost inside up.
I want to
top
double check
7.
that
These
format.
are all teams I'm mentioning because they have relatively very, very good games. And so if we have all the teams that need good games to have good games, to what does that really do to the leaderboard? So that's going to be the interesting thing with that victory royale for Peterbot and Poyo. How high do they rise?
Hey, the proof's in the pudding. One good game could be all it takes to immediately.
It's weird that the EWC website doesn't really clarify that at all, like anywhere.
Top 7 threshold, and still always knowing that as long as you avoid that bottom 3 in today's competition, you can have.
From what I can
a
find.
chance in the running for finals, but obviously everybody's just trying to confirm their position on the finals battle bus here today from Group A.
Yeah, and I think I wouldn't call it like a warning shot by any means, but I think this needs to be a huge warning to everybody playing in this tournament. The teams still here closing out this group. The teams tomorrow playing in the group. It's Shark and Teeny. They have been on another level. Kind of slow to start, typical to what we've seen online, but what Shark did in the past 2 games, and let alone by himself 7 eliminations, almost looked like he was just going to dominate in that last game, but maybe sometimes the confidence was a little bit too good for him, but Shark and Teeny have been absolutely insane today.
But it's also been a very similar circumstance from Vico and Malabuka, and hey, at the end of the day, Jacob, we've got so many wonderful players actually participating in today's competition, so let's just hear what they've got to say.
That's right.
All right, so the format is 2 groups, Group A, Group B, 10 games.
The hometown heroes, let's
Top 7 from Group A go to finals. Top 7 from Group B go to finals. 8th to 17th go to the survival stage. Bottom 3 get eliminated. So those from day A and day B, day 1 and day 2, 8th from 17th go in. And then in the survival, it's the top 6. Sorry, it's not the top 3, it's the top 6 go into finals on Saturday. And everybody else is eliminated from the tournament.
So we want to do a second one, but of course it was the game who launched us on the tournament right now.
And then match point, it's a match point final. So at 350, you then need to win a game after you get 350 to qual to win. Did I not read the Walmart Pokemon Packer? I meant to I read it in my head, I think, but I don't think I said anything. Translate French? He's not speaking French. In Canada? Honestly, I should know French. I don't. I should know French, but I do not. I literally live in the only considered bilingual province in all of Canada. And if you don't know what a province is is just it's the equivalent of a state in the U.S.
Nosef, before I let you guys go, have you got a message for any of the fans out there, all of the French fans that are here to support you?
And every other province in Canada is just English. Or there's one, Quebec is considered a French province.
I really thank you very much for being there. Thank you very much to cheer for us as you do now, and we're gonna do our best.
No, he's translating for me. I don't need to. W that guy. W that guy. Hold on, I gotta double check something. I gotta make sure my car's not.
We had to welcome, of course, none other than Malibu, the stage, couch, whatever you want to call this here. Guys, it's a couch, right? Yes. How are you guys feeling? Obviously, we had a big victory royale from you. We got the classic Vico pop-off. Vico, how does it feel, man?
Hey, it feels great. After getting 20th in Grants, it feels great to actually be able to do something again for my IGL here. Not disappoint him. I don't know if y'all saw that clean 200. I don't know who that was in the last 2v2, but I was kind of moving there, I'd say, Well,
what was it like for you, Mally, where you're just like, all right, yeah, Vico just do kind of crazy stuff? I mean, if you're the IGL, you're kind of the brain,
fucking awful.
but how did it feel for you?
I mean, that's kind of expected. Like, you know, when we're in top 3 and then Vico is alive. And
how's it feel? How's it feel?
I just know he's gonna
money.
So, like, I didn't
what,
try
like,
to help him. I just died to let him
wait,
help me too.
is that what they're talking about? Or is that what it's going to feel like when I get a job at Walmart? It's not going to feel like that. It's going to be like, all right, I'm here.
Like the first 2 games we saw was like, maybe they're not doing like the way we expected, but then immediately like, oh, sorry, you're questioning me, Victor Royale. What leads into that? What makes you guys so good on LAN?
I mean, I think it's just because like on LAN, everyone's a tier 1 pro, right? Everyone's the best on their region for a reason. And nothing stupid can really happen. You know what everyone's gonna do. Like, you know, nothing stupid can really happen. Like, for example, in the grand finals.
When there's more pressure or less pressure?
Yeah, when there's more pressure, we play better.
Wait,
like,
what just happened?
We don't get uncomfortable with pressure. We just like, I don't know, we get more serious and we play seriously.
How do you guys?
There's a quote saying that, you know what, like, what are diamonds made out of again?
Oh, we can't.
You don't remember that quote?
Yeah, yeah. You know, good old classic.
Yeah,
Pink.
you know,
Gotta give him a shout
pressure
out.
makes diamonds, you know.
That's right. That's right. So, what do you guys feel like you've improved on since that 20th place?
And cutscene, yeah, I was like, what?
Here on the EWC stage.
Like, I don't think I was behind.
What did you guys improve? What were the little things you're like?
I think they literally just cut him off.
Obviously, you guys are the best, but
or the broadcast was like behind on its own. Very confused by that.
After 20 grands, right, we kind of got a wake-up call.
Maybe they were afraid he was going to say something like offensive or something, and they were like, let's just cut. He's like, talk about people being stupid.
Yeah, just like we didn't know what to do or whatever. You know, it's like,
I know what he means though. It's like when you're fighting pros or you're fighting good players, you can kind of like, especially in builds, like they all tend to do the same stuff for the most part. Whereas playing against like randoms or like in a pub setting, like it's super unpredictable because you never know how like an okay player, like somebody that's okay at the game is gonna play. Because they'll do anything. They don't tend to follow the same standard movement as like a pro would. Now I feel like ZB's a little different because some ZB pros have like crazy movement.
Peter and Poyle, you know, or like Shark and Teeny, you know.
But it's probably the same thing. Like in if you're thinking about
would be nice to get a
ZB competitive in set lobbies, they all tend to do the same thing. Like we watched the set lobby finals on Monday for ZB, and it was basically like everybody using bunkers, guardian shields, shockwaves, like, and they were all carrying the same shit. They switched to bounce pads. Everybody's using bounce pads. So it's like you can kind of predict what everybody's going to have in the end game.
I don't know what you're talking about, Vico. Obviously, being in front
that shield is so obnoxious. I am so excited for it to be gone. At the same time, I'm so used to using it now that it's like the only way I can survive against controller players. Like, and I'm not saying it's just like that aim assist is so powerful with some people that it's like in an open field battle, I just don't stand a chance. Like I have decent accuracy, but it's like I just watch some of these players. Like you look at Lakin or Swan or Res X, like it's just like it's literally just like every shot connects like so perfectly. Maybe it's just a skill issue, I don't know. But at the same time, like the shield's the only way. Like in an open, like a Bloom battle, I'm gonna lose like 9 times out of 10 against somebody who's on controller, who's like good, right? It's like obviously there's a lot of players who are on controller that aren't good, and that won't affect me at all. But like against good players, I'm gonna get obliterated. Although Vic has godlike accuracy and he plays on PC. Same with a lot of other people. But you look at Ecstatic, like his accuracy is insane. And he plays on controller.
On FORTNITE LAN, so it's really good to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, equip the Atom Smasher skin for luck and skill. Yeah. That's more like if you want to see me from the moon, I'll equip that skin and you can just beam me from across the map. Dove, I've only noticed Dove recently, but I've seen you guys play with him a few times, and but I'm never actually able. I don't know if he streams or not, so I haven't been able to actually watch his POV. But does Dove play on mouse and keyboard?
But yeah, I think I want
because there are some people that are actually he streams on TikTok. Yeah, I need to get more onto the TikTok. Yeah, his keyboard mouse. Okay. Yeah, some people are just fucking cracked. It doesn't seem to matter what input they use. Like, Ecstatic was cracked on mouse and keyboard, and then he's even more cracked on controller. So, he's even said that he'll never go back to mouse and keyboard. So, part of me wants to switch to controller, because I feel like the ZB, like, with Zero Build, it's like, I feel like controller is almost becoming, like, something that you'd need. But that also being said, you take any of these pros from, like, this tournament here today, and they're going to pop off. And most of them play mouse and keyboard. So, most likely just a skill issue for me. Yeah, Lando's goated as well. He plays on controller.
It keeps us, even at home, keeps us motivated, keeps us
I'm pretty sure.
You got something to say, Maddie? Thank you for the support, guys.
89 in an Unreal ranked lobby. That's fucking crazy.
I love this guy, bro.
That is insane.
The benefit for you, Mally, is you just have Vico to just do all the talking, or you're just like, hey, what he said, same here.
Phil had 11.
Well, guys, thank you
Honestly,
so much. We appreciate y'all
that's
taking the time to talk to us.
insane.
Thank you for having us, bro.
Did you guys add the Phil? I bet you that Phil was like sending you guys all friend requests. He's like, we need to run the back. We need to do this. 89's insane. That is actually fucking crazy.
With the players from Big as well. I mean,
They were streaming as well.
Earlier as well in game number 4, I believe it was.
They're like, these guys are fucking cracked. These guys are insane. I can't even keep up. 30, 21, and 27. Like, that's insane. A 30 bomb.
Actually, let's rewind it a little bit. Let me slow it down a tiny bit. Before you gave him the talk, Falcons' performances, it was none other than 18th, 19th, and
Man, sometimes I'm struggling to get 10 kills.
it was 6th in first place.
30 is crazy. To be able to drop a 30 kill game, very impressive. I don't think I've ever dropped a 30 kill game. I think my highest kill game is like 27, 20.
I'm not gonna take all the credit.
I think mine's 27. I think 28 is the highest.
They were always gonna have that game. They were always gonna have
In
that
reload, I've had a few 20 bombs in reload, like 21, 22.
As we always say,
But not even close to like 30. Like, that's crazy.
Like, oh, maybe this is it for Peter Bond and Point, and then they always make a comeback. And to do it,
I've had a few 25 kill games, like last season and the season before, but I haven't had any crazy pop-off games. I've had like, I think my highest kill game this season is 20. 20, 21 maybe. Maybe even lower than that. Maybe like 18, 19. I had a 19 kill game like last week.
Start to pick up momentum. I feel like Peterbot and Pollo are at the top of that list. I mean, we know exactly what they can do. And yeah, they were on like
I've had a 36 in a duo match. Back in Chapter 5. Yeah, skill-based matchmaking, low-keys kind of destroyed it. And then the bots, the bots also just destroy. Like, I've had multiple games this season where it's 100% AI lobbies. Like, it's just us, like the real team, one real team, and then 96 bots, which should never be a thing, like ever. It makes me not want to play the game, honestly. Like, I don't want to play that if it's going to be 96 bots.
I'm happy that you kind of brought them up because there are.
And I think they've done it on purpose. I honestly think Epic Games has done it on purpose for Sprite Hunters.
How are they so far? We really haven't seen anything crazy from them today. We haven't really been talking about them today. I feel like that's Hari and Cammy here. I mean, I feel like we really
I don't be dropping. I've had a couple 20 bombs in ranked, but nothing like not consistently by any means. Like,
I mean, take a look at top 3 specifically. Take
sorry,
a look at the eliminations. How
one second.
more first and second place have than Hari and Cammy, but they are still up there with them.
Yeah, Hari and Cammy were a team that are predicting to get out of the heat comfortably, and just because when you look at the way they've been playing in recent months, they've really been ramping in, going under the radar. You have to give big props to Cammy and Hari. It feels like for quite some time in EU, people were almost trying to write him off a bit, sort of talk about Cammy in a way that was like, yeah,
Ever since I got
are the new
sick,
best Polish duo in the region, right? They're gonna be the new face of Polish Fortnite.
Like, every so often, it's like,
no. We're still here.
like, I'm just like, I just feel sick, but I'm not sick anymore, so it's like
we can't
weird.
ignore the history of Cammy either. He does have that LAN experience. He is the 2022 Invitational, although that was many years ago. Being
An Oregon player named him.
Know what the meta is with inside the tournament is what can turn things around for you, and that's why they're doing so well.
Okay.
Them having a great coach.
What the fuck?
They're always
W name though.
Excellent mid-game plan that they know exactly what they're gonna do, and it's paying off so far.
It is paying off for them. It's not paying off for some of those teams currently
Like,
in
why?
that second page that we need to see a lot more out of because we
That's such a strange name.
mark here for Group A.
I need to drink more water, I think. I think that's my problem right now. I just need to drink more water. Less like tea and pop.
Bottom 3, those keys are going to be getting crushed. You're not going to get a chance to go to survival.
That being said, I mean, the halfway point is exactly the opportunity that a lot of these teams might need to actually turn around, because of course we are going to be switching maps now. So maybe just how the all spawn will be playing out just a little bit differently for all of our teams. Maybe that's enough. I mean, we do see the likes of like Alex and Reckless down there. I mean, Alex just consistently kind of makes it to these types of events. But also,
send it in the Discord. I do believe you.
Towards the bottom of the leaderboard as well. But we really do need to see him in finals.
And I mean, Slurp Rush, a lot of these
Couch
teams do
sniffer.
prefer Slurp Rush over Elite Stronghold.
Level
I do think that's
24.
gonna be making a lot of changes. There's probably some strategies that these teams go into.
Why
with
is his head
specific map
floating
in
like
mind. So
that?
I would love to see if we're going to be seeing some different kind of strategies of aggression.
Is it
or
just
maybe
bugged
even
out?
passivity that we didn't see in the earlier map.
Yeah, I don't want to make everything about the Falcons duo, but when you look at Pete and Boyo, I think it gets scarier for the lobby. I think they're a much better Slurp Rush team. I think
Wait, he's not level 24?
Games have gone. Just the amount of shield.
Oh, it's a
available,
Havoc
the amount
rank
of loot
24.
available to them when they're playing Slurp Rush just means they're able to just recover games a lot better. And so again, scary prospect for the rest of the lobby.
So he's goated.
With the way that they've been performing on those last
Dude,
two
I'm
matches,
locked in. I'm not even going to be able to watch this whole thing, unfortunately, today.
Team Orchid, we saw them being able to get that win, but the
Is
duo
breakfast
has
in
slowed
bed?
down massively.
Dude.
I don't think that's necessarily too much to speak on the other
What
players.
the
I think
fuck?
that's based off
We
of
know
what
Hunter's on
everyone
his
else is
way.
doing
He's
around
already,
them.
he's
I think
bought
that
the
they
ticket.
have
He's
plenty
on the
of games
way.
to go going into this, and that there's not going to be too much of an issue for what they have in mind. But just everyone else seems to be kind of stepping up.
Yeah, of
We
course.
also saw
Yeah.
specifically in that last game, almost every single
That's
one of our
unreal.
top teams go down
heck?
early, and that's why we saw the leaderboard shift a little bit from first and second place.
Yeah, absolutely, Kelly. I actually want to kind of bring up that point since we are going to be talking about Team Orchid. They did drop down to 9th place, but here's the thing. I mean, they're actually only 7 points behind 5th place. So how close that qualification spot is, just simply between 5th and 9th place. I mean, the leaderboard is
What
starting to kind
the
of develop a theme here, where I feel like a lot of the teams around 7th place and that qualifying spot, it's going to get a little crazy.
I agree.
What?
I think it's exactly what we expected out of the competition. This group had so much talent, and I think we've seen from some of the smaller region teams, they're not just here to participate.
I know. I was like,
They're
look at what
here
you
to
started.
take over.
What
And
the
there's
heck?
quite a few-
I'm here enjoying Fortnite. You guys are talking about having breakfast in bed
the replay of it, but the shot
with hidden messages in it.
hits at the end where he's bobbling in the water. I forgot what player it was, but they
I gotta check something really quick. Actually, I gotta check something. Sorry, I gotta double check my email really quick. Make sure she hasn't sent me another message. I'm still here though. I'm just yeah, she hasn't sent me another message. Okay, or he. I don't know. He or she, whatever.
Was he able to, especially for that squad? You were hyping them up earlier. They're still being able to perform really well here. But as we're going to be heading into the
Marcus, oh my god. Don't you start.
turn, Vivid. Now it's your turn.
Don't you start. I'm a one-man man, you know what I mean?
From Levin, or he can end up back.
I can barely handle Hunter.
Just yet, based on your reaction, okay? I'm gonna
Two
give you a
handprints
little
this
bit of
morning?
slack
My
here,
god.
But I do want you to pick a
Don't
team
tap me.
that is towards the bottom that you want to see them being able to step up in a big way.
Very easy for me to pick a team here. Don't even have to think about it. Epic, Whale, and Pump. We have
Deal? What the
experience
fuck?
means on a stage like this. Epic
That's
Whale,
more unreal.
You are that guy. You have been playing forever. You consistently make it
All
to
caps,
these types
too.
of events.
It's like you guys are
have to
shouting
go
at each
ahead
other.
and prove to everybody that is watching at home that not only do you deserve it, but also your counterparts from NA West. They are currently towards the top of the leaderboard. You gotta join them in the ranks, man. You are so good. I need you to prove it.
Brother, what were you talking about that you don't want to do motivational? All right.
It wasn't just his reaction that concerned you. All of us had the same reaction when you said that. I think we all doubted it, but I'm not going to doubt you anymore, Vivid. That was amazing.
That was pretty motivational.
The team to end up performing.
What the
They've
fuck?
got a chance to, I mean, just back off a little bit.
That's just gonna sit there now. It's gonna say
before we
pick me up and
actually
fuck
jump
me
into
for
match number 6,
for the rest
we
of the
got some
day.
awesome stuff here for
Just
you
see that in the chat. Anybody that comes in here is gonna be like, what the fuck is going on? Crazy. Wait, how long is this break, dude? I gotta go somewhere in like an hour. I need at least 2 more games. I need to see at least 2 more games. It'll help clarify the leaderboard. I'm so sad that I should have said 3. She asked me if I wanted to do it at 2 or 3. I thought this would be over by 2, and I just want to get the interview over with. And then, but now I'm regretting that, and I should have said 3. I still think I would have missed last game though. This may go till like 3:30. Unmatched? Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Well, like Swan's not gonna let you play with him because he's
yet.
You say some wild shit. Like Fluger. Fluger won't play with you.
Compete in fantasy, pick'em, and quests for
Sexual
a grand
tension's
total of
unreal.
$300,000
Yeah.
in
There's
prize
something's
pool.
unreal.
Build your dream fantasy team in
I feel like what's
5
being
games
said
and
is a
track
little
your score
unreal.
with live results tables. Predict the winner
Been
of
too long,
every
yeah.
game,
Yeah.
every group stage, and every
You gotta be careful with Hunter.
Complete daily and
Hunter's gonna
weekly
get me fucking
challenges to
banned.
earn
He's gonna get me
boosters that help you climb the global
blacklisted from
leaderboard.
Twitch.
Got what it takes? Join EWC.
Need to let it
Play
loose.
now.
Yeah, yeah. No! What's happening?
Some of the best players come and go, but remains atop the NA West region.
Yeah.
I've been a pro since I was 16, so I think like if you started young, I think you can
Wild.
just maintain that like skill at the least. But I don't think there's really an age where you just can't be good at Fortnite anymore. You know, they think you can't be like older than 17 and good at Fortnite, but like that's not true. That's not how it is at all.
The average pro age, like ending for pros in gaming, is around
My
23.
experience be an advantage. My confidence going into it. I mean, a lot of kids, this might even be their first LAN. They're gonna be scared, you know. They have like so much to play.
I think he's
for.
full of
This is their
shit.
chance to prove themselves, but,
This guy's full of
like,
shit.
since
Like,
I'm
I'm not
already
gonna lie.
in
Epic
there's
Whale
really
popped
no,
off.
like,
He won 6
nerves going
FNCSs
into it.
back to back, or something like that on West.
Key to my
And but he hasn't
longevity is, like,
won
you
one
can't
for a
let
while.
one season
Why
go
would
to
that be?
waste,
It's because
'cause
the
once
younger
you-
generation is getting
once you start
fucking crazy at
declining
this
in
game.
and your rep goes downhill, it's really
Had to get
hard
OG
push
banned
back
so
up the
fast.
hill, so every season you just got to take it super serious and
Yeah.
lock
Yeah.
in.
I couldn't. Yeah.
I
yeah.
enjoy it still. It's super fun. Like,
Yeah. I'd run. I'd run while you can
and
before Hunter
for
actually
me, like,
picks you up.
doing bad in the tournament is enough to motivate me to. Like,
Yeah. You have a
not
good one,
beat it
man.
if I am slacking, you know?
You have a good one.
Fresh off
Appreciate you
his
stopping in.
record FNCS Major 2 victory, Epic Whale heads into the 2026 Esports World Cup with the very duo partner he just won alongside, Pump. No
God.
stranger to glory, Epic knows the sacrifice required to succeed.
Wait, did
in
he didn't win
competitive
West, did he?
With the skill ceiling
I never
now
saw
higher
West.
than ever, there's no easy road to victory.
Yeah, I think during the first 2 qualifiers, it definitely would have been really nice to qual in those, but we weren't really as well prepared for reload. But during the last 2, I think we actually played a lot better. I mean, we should have qualled in the 3rd one, but we kind of got griefed. But we still got our qual in through the last one, so. I mean, I knew we were the best team, and I knew that we deserved the last spot.
It would
but
suck so
at the end of
hard
the
to
day,
be
you
in the
never know
bottom
who's
3
gonna,
today.
like, come out on top in a tournament, especially with 1 LAN spot left. It's always tough, but I knew we were the best team and that we deserved
At
it.
this rate, I'm probably only gonna be able to watch one more
24,
game.
Epic is the oldest player competing in Paris, equipping him with invaluable experience versus the army of young hopefuls. Epic Whale's persistence saw him secure his EWC spot in the final qualifier, a trait that defined his career. Now, he is ready to prove on land that age is just a number.
Yeah, I mean, winning this EWC, it would mean a lot just to like prove that longevity, you know, on a global scale. To other teams, you know, good luck out there.
Guys, Monster D-Face here, and we get the pleasure to actually check things out behind the scenes.
Monster
because it's
D-Face.
media
What a
going
name.
on right now. And
What a
actually,
name.
I might want to keep it down just a little bit because over here you have live commentary, footage, photography, everything happening right here. And also, as the players are starting to warm up, normally they just come in here early and, you know, we get to chat with someone. And it looks like we have my boy Leo here as well. Leo, what's up, bro?
I'm fine. What about you?
Dude, I'm doing good. How was your flight? How's the travel?
Everything perfect. This is my country, Paris. I'm hyped for this. I'm not gonna lie.
Man, the last time we saw each other was at the last event. Now you're at this event here. I mean, what are your expectations coming in?
I think I'm happy with what French doing right now. I'm trying to think about the top 5 maybe. I think they can do it.
Well, guys, listen, this is behind the scenes. Obviously, again, we are lucky enough. And Leo, thank you so much, man, for your time, bro. Well, have a good luck and enjoy the show. Yeah, we are in the time of the century here for the Fortnite fans. Obviously, again, you can even see here on the players wall. Take a look at this. People are getting to sign their names. Folks are having fun, drawing little fun pictures. And that's really all there is to it. And in case you also want to see the behind the scenes of a set, I got something covered for y'all. Take a look at this. Now, I don't know what goes into building this stuff, but trust me, it looks pretty incredible. You're gonna see tons of awesome shots of your favorite pros, players kind of hanging out, taking different types of videos here, and trust me, it's so freaking cool. All right, now we're getting to my least favorite place, the quiet zone. But I'm still gonna give you guys a quick look. Let's go ahead.
The quiet zone. This is like where people are sleeping.
All right, so here in the quiet zone, well, this is where that high-level B-roll and interview stuff starts to happen. Now, I'm not going to venture too far in, but do know we're going to take a peek at one of the Fortnite sets. So let's go ahead and check it out. All right, and here's the Fortnite set. This one looks pretty cool. Might even be familiar for some of y'all. Now check this out. Bunch of cameras set up here. Players usually sit down, get mic'd up, and then you kind of go through the fun interview process. Now, one thing that's really cool about the way we do the Fortnite content here is that we don't tell the players what they're coming in for. We kind of keep it a
fun interview process. My God.
See later feels nice and natural, and you're even going to check out the one that I did with Vico and Malibuca. And I hope you guys enjoyed the behind the scenes. Unfortunately, Peterbot and Pollo look like they just got here, but time's up.
Ah, man, MBF getting a chance to go all over the place, hang out with the players too. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to FORTNITE Reload Championship at EWC 26. Hi, Glitter. Actually, I'm joined by Taco, Levin, and now Glitter. Glitter, is there anything going on with the Club Championship?
Yeah, I decided to come hang out with you guys as we got a little bit of time because it's not a big update, but it is something to pay attention to. Oh, is this for me? Oh, thank you.
All yours.
All right, well, it's something to pay attention to when it comes to our CC teams because
He's like, I don't want to hold this mic anymore.
side of things,
Yo,
AGL have
Peterbot
already
players are starting to heat up.
guaranteed
I agree, honestly. They're popping off. They started really, really rough, but now they're in 7th, so they're looking good to qual if they keep this momentum.
When it comes to our stage, I'm going to need tomorrow AGL to do some...
Retro? I've never seen Retro until now. I don't know. Is he European or NA? Like, I don't know.
Scroll must be licking their lips. You know, they're like, oh, we were already coming in to just, you know, completely dominate.
Actually, I don't even think I looked at the leaderboard after last game.
Just slam dunk it home. Look, I'm sure they ain't even worried about that in reality, right? They're just here to play their game. They're one of the best in the world.
Vico Malibuca are in first now. They've taken over. I'm actually really shocked by that because Teeny and Shark have had they had super consistent first 3 games, and then I guess game 4 and 5 was not looking the greatest for them. 13th and 17th. That is tough. He's NA West. Okay, I did not know that. I don't pay attention to West in all honesty. I do a little bit here and there, but it just runs so late for me. So I'm like as far east as I can get. So by the time West starts, it's like 12 a.m. So I just can't.
If I'm just going off of gut,
honestly, some of these guys look like they're 12 or younger, but obviously I think they have to be 13 in order to play in this. So
and I'm going with strong mentality. Okay.
Strong mentality. Actually,
but yeah, some of them look so young.
Tend to overlook.
But yeah, the top 7 is like really good players.
I think for me,
so right now we have 3 NA teams set to qual right now. I think the top 4 are all European. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure the top 4 are all European. If Retro is West, then yeah, the 5th, 6th, and 7th are all NA.
Gonna be my third in line, and I think Combs is always a really good
Of
shout.
course. Yeah, because like these players are fucking crazy. We're going streaking. We're going streaking!
But I think Taco took
But yeah, I feel that. I feel that, especially like I'll watch ZB, like I watch the duo ZB, and I'm like, my God, if I was playing in this, I would just I'd go insane. Like they're all using shields, they're all using bounce pad, they're all using the spider webs. I was like, the ZB, I was like, this is just mind-numbing. I would literally want to break something. So it's like every time you take a shot, they pull out the shield. Every time you do anything, you have 5, 6, 8, 10 people spider webbing onto a tree above you, like 30 meters above you. There's like 8 to 10 other players just bounce padding up. So ridiculous.
Yeah, that's the worst. This is why I'm not a pro player. What were you saying?
I would say, what about you? If we're gonna do it, you need to jump in here too. Give us your.
Peterbot Pollo are cooking. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to watch the whole thing. I'll probably only be able to watch like 1 more game at this rate, maybe 2 if they start the game here soon, but
but then strong mentality.
shout out the metric system, yeah. Yeah. Honestly.
I definitely need the aim. Hear me out.
But yeah, it's not a bad tournament at all so far. I feel like finals is gonna be crazy though, with a match point system. With the match point
I
system.
feel like those two so far are good. And let me think about the other two really quick. Strong mentality as well.
But we'll see.
And you gotta rock with.
That's Saturday. It's so early. Like it's 7 a.m. my time is when the finals starts. And I'm like, I don't even know, man. Like, I was planning to go out Friday night, and it's like, I don't know if I can, if I plan to watch that, because it's like I'd be out till like 1, 2 a.m. and then come back and get like 3 hours of sleep, 4 hours of sleep if I'm lucky, and then just reestablish. Honestly, it would be crazy. I would like to see it as well. I'd love to see an NA team win, just to prove that NA still is a really, really top, like good top region. And if they keep this momentum, they may win today. We'll see about Saturday, because like Saturday is going to be a whole new like pool of players, and it's all going to be, it's like the best 7 from today, best 7 from tomorrow, and then the best 6 from Friday.
You started a debate, 7. This is your fault. This is now going to be a very long ongoing debate.
They haven't been doing that. I agree. They seem to start really poorly in these tournaments. Like you think about the Summit LAN, they started really poorly, and then they made a crazy comeback, and I think they ended in like 2nd or 3rd with the Summit LAN, which was nuts. And that being said, they did dominate the last was it the Eval Cup, I think? I'm not sure if it was the Eval Cup, but they popped off in the last tournament. Like online tournament of the season. They basically dominated that one.
I feel like I haven't interacted with the French audience.
I think they're on a rise again. I think it's like Peterbot and Pollo. Like, I think Pollo's like on the grind. I feel like Peterbot's not playing as much as he used to, because he used to play like 8 to 12 hours a day. Like, that's why he was one of the best, if not the best in the world at one point. Yeah, honestly, be so devastating, like to be in the bottom 3 today, bottom 3 tomorrow, and just watch your dreams get crushed. Because the idea of them like crushing those tokens is so cool from a spectator point of view, but it would be so heartbreaking from a player perspective.
Okay, give me another one. One more before we go. Alors, une dernière idée. Okay, one more. Oh, yeah. So you're gonna say, j'ai plus de balles. Okay, what does that mean? Oh, it's you will see, okay? J'ai plus de balles. Okay, cool. Okay. 3, 2, 1. J'ai plus de balles. What did I just say? Casters, back to you for the exit. What did I just say? It's okay. Casters, back to you.
What did he just say?
It's cool. What was that? It's cool, bro. It's cool.
What did he just say?
All right, enough for that, Barney. We don't need you angering up the crowd here.
What the fuck?
We get to call the
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and he basically proved it. They go to LAN, they win. He solo clutches against like Thomas HD and absolutely like pops off in the LAN in that year. But that's also back when he was like playing 8 to 12 hours consistently every single day, like never left his house. Yeah, nobody's been on a tear like that. Sky Scroll are kind of on a tear like that right now in terms of European servers. Like Sky Scroll is definitely one of the biggest teams to worry about, and then Sharktini. Like for Peterbot Pollo, like they need to be worried about Sharktini and Sky Scroll. Like Sky Scroll are like on a generational run in terms of popping off in these tournaments. It was crazy. That Summit LAN was actually crazy in that final game when Sky Scroll got landed on and lost, and they ended up losing first place, and Malibuca and Vico came up and got first place. So yeah, I think Sky Scroll were second, and then Malibuca and Vico were first, and then Peterbot Pollo were third in the Summit LAN. So they did well, but they started really poorly.
So there's going to be lots of different situations that we find our duos in here, because maybe they're fighting a different team than they were used to in these first
Learn how to play high up Sky Scroll. Yeah, yeah, honestly, it's a team to watch. If you want to learn how to play, like positioning and stuff, Sky Scroll is definitely a team to watch. And even when they get separated in like a end game situation, they still manage to meet up, and they just pick off players like one by one on their own because they're so good. And they're only like 16, which is insane to me.
What comes next here, Mini Miner? It's game number 6.
There's some big old spawn fights as well. The big one at Dirty.
An interview. I got an interview at 2 o'clock, so yeah, I'll probably only be able to watch this game, maybe one more game.
This sort of area, and already Muzz is finding his first knock. Gino's here as well, and he takes down Muzz. That's the first elimination for them. Certified
Game 6. So I'm gonna miss like the last 4 games basically.
It's so interesting. It's like you can't even shake a Muzz not catching a break here. You're coming into this game in
That's devastating.
and then you don't get that first elimination. That's a slow way to kind of start things off. But Chino
I definitely enjoy watching this stuff too. It's a lot of fun.
And I like when I'm watching. Let's see him do it. Chino gets a shot. Sphinx puts up a good
Especially the broadcasts. Like the view parties that like Aussie Antics does is a little tough. Like I've done it for ZB here and there, but it's hard to do.
Got the high ground looking for that shot, finds the knock, of course, as well as the full elimination. Big moments here for Shark and
Dude, literally when you watch Shark and Teeny, it's like they look like they're not even trying. They look like they're just kind of like there, and then they just are goated at the game.
And this is a worst case scenario for them, dropping a game out of the first.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Thank you for lurking. Yeah, I understand completely, especially like if I'm not even gonna be able to finish it. Yeah, that totally makes sense. But yeah, I appreciate the lurk and coming into the stream. Enjoy, because I'm definitely enjoying it.
Be pretty tough.
Just wish I could watch the whole thing. Like, but I gotta go for that interview. Like, I just need to make some money, like to like keep my like savings and stuff going up. So
definitely something to keep an eye out for, as well as we take a look at Peter.
I was only gonna be able to do this for so long anyway. I'm still gonna watch all these tournaments as long as I'm not working, right? Like I'll do all that and I'll play a bunch still. As long as I don't get in a relationship. My average single time is 3 to 4 months. I'm already approaching 3 months, so we'll see. I guess it's been like 2 months since I've been single, so still got like 2 more months before somebody clings on to me, which I'm not gonna let happen. Like they'd honestly have to be like really like stunning and independent. Like that's the only way I'll date somebody is if they're like independent. I can't date somebody that's really clingy.
They do that in this latter half of competition. That's what they'll be asking themselves. If they can do it, why can't we?
Yeah, well, I mean, I was basically single until like I had a girlfriend when I was in high school for like a year. But other than that, I was basically single until I was like 21. And then ever since I've been 21, it's about a 3 to 4 month span where I'm single.
Looking for an angle, trying to find one on the backside, not able to actually find one as Gino's providing pressure from other areas.
Love life for Fortnite. Honestly, the love life is sabotaging my Fortnite life. Let's be honest. Like, the love life is sabotaging. Like I used to like cut my streams and like not stream at all for my girlfriends and stuff. And like I'm done with that. Like it's just like this is part of my life, and yeah, fuck that. Like I'm fucking done with that shit. Like, it's relationship. Anybody that says a relationship's not work, and Anders, what's going on, dude? Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, I'm like anybody that says a relationship's not work, like a relationship shouldn't necessarily feel like work, but any relationship is work, and anybody that says otherwise is rich. And in most cases, and I would say if you're rich and you're not struggling in your relationship, then you just have the best life ever, right? Like but I mean, as I said, like if a really cute girl wants to date me, like really good-looking woman that's independent wants to date me, I'm all for it. But I'm in no rush. I mean, I'm not getting younger, but at the same time, like I'm completely content at this point. It took me a minute to realize, but I am completely content being single.
And of course, Goofy here, they're just kind of
The older I get, the less interested I find in romance. 100%. 100%.
Watching the action right now, but Bray's the first to get caught off.
Yeah, I am with you on that, Anders. Like,
On the matter here, and now this could be a
there's no girl on the planet Earth that's going to be all right with me spending like 40 hours a week playing Fortnite on top of me working 40 hours, right? Like, so it's not really an option. So it's like in my relationship before Maddie, I was like I cut my streams down to like 2 to 3 hours, like 3 days a week, which was nothing. It's really hard to grow when you're doing that. Like, you have to be very consistent. You have to put a lot, especially these days, you have to put a lot of time into streaming in order to grow, or you need to be like creating godlike content.
They weren't happy how that went down, and now turning on the gas pedal here. One thing I've noticed from Shark so far today, he is not afraid to fight.
Yeah, honestly, some of them have priorities. Yeah, got his priority 100%. Yeah. What a clip! Yeah, I'll fucking post that on TikTok now. It's like fuck relationships. I'm here for the Fortnite now.
So little space to work with. If there's anyone that you want as a solo clutch situation, it's
crazy.
It's like the extra overshield in the game.
Well, I mean, I will say this, Anders. Like, again, like when it comes to the younger generation, there are a lot more women that are also playing games. Like, I feel like in my generation, it was very, very few and far between that you'd meet a girl that played games. Like, it was like in my high school, like there was no girls that played video games. Like, it was unheard of. There was no girls that watch anime. And now everybody watches anime. Everybody plays video games or has played video games. They've played Minecraft. They've played Fortnite. They've played Call of Duty. They've played Roblox. I've never played Roblox, but that's also not really my generation. So it's a little bit different. So you are going to see, like, as time goes on, you will see like absolutely stunning women at these events because it's easier. There is actually a really, really, really good European pro who I think her name's like Alba or something, who's like by far like one of, if not the best female player in the world. And she's like really cute. I think she's like pretty young though. I don't know what her age is, but you know, that's also how you grow as a woman. Like, men are extremely simple-minded, so if you're pretty, you will have men watching you. It's just that simple.
Contested it now. Huga and Braids also saw them dip back into the storm. They seem to be very much interested in getting into a piece of this action.
Played it maybe 3 times. I can't even. Like, my brother tried to get me to play it. He's a little bit older than I am, but he has kids, and I'm like, yeah, there's no fucking way. He showed me this like Shrek map, and I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm playing this. There's no way I'm playing this. Like, this is not selling this game for me. I'm like, no thanks.
Look at all these players inside of the storm. It's possible in this map, particularly when you're rotating through Slurp.
Conventionally attractive you are, the less you actually have to. 100% agree. 100% agree.
Inside of the zone right here, Monster. Everyone's playing outside, and it's honestly the meta in this particular map. And for Peter Bottom,
like, let's be honest. If I looked like Chris Hemsworth, like, to grow a following would not be hard. Right.
We've seen them have slow starts, but when they get going, it's like a runaway train.
From in the zone to in the bubble, Peter Bot came into this game in 7th.
You either need, like, to be just like a normal looking person and grow on social media is really tough unless you're like hilarious, or you're creating really good content, or you're like goated at whatever you're doing.
To get the full finish, that would have been devastating for Braids there.
Yeah, another situation where Teeny's trying to alert, they're trying to find that knock, and they don't find it.
I totally agree with that.
So, really difficult situation. That's how Shark went down. You can see right there.
But I mean, as I've heard in the past, like, for example, like, it's way easier for women to grow a following and become a full-time streamer, content creator, whatever it may be, if you're really good looking. But it's really hard for them to, like, get to that point where you're achieving like tens of thousands of viewers. Like, it's way harder for a woman to get that for some reason. Maybe it's just because men are more willing to just be ridiculous. I don't know, and we don't have to fit that social norm necessarily, and the less willing you are to fit a social norm. You look at like Sable Ronaldo, like he just like clip farms. Like they just clip farm as much as they can. They say random shit out in public. They do ridiculous things. Like Kai Cenat always brings on celebrities and stuff. Like they grow because of that stuff.
It's not looking too great for them, but hey, they're still in the running.
That's the thing. These guys can turn their game around on a dime. Any situation they find themselves
Financially
in,
right
they
now.
have to back them. And you can see, looks as if they
Honestly,
can
yeah. Like I just exercise at home. Like you just get a good app, like exercises. Like I can notice I haven't worked out in a couple weeks because I was sick, and that kind of like carried over for the next week. But I started working out again last night. Yeah, there's 100% agree. A lot of simps out there. I'm one of them. Yeah, 100%. That is like part of my problem. I won't lie. I tend to put women on a pedestal that I shouldn't.
Vico and Malabuka just kind of back off, ease up here now. And, you know, we naturally expected the zone to finally...
That being said, you look like Megan Fox in her prime. Like, honestly, Megan Fox is still gorgeous. So you look like Megan Fox right now. I'm locked in. You want to date me? I'm locked in. You know what I mean? So...
Take a look at what Malabuka's next big play is. It's
oh,
likely
man.
to find an elimination. They need a refresher.
I get no girls. I play Fortnite. That's my priorities now, Misa. That's my priorities now.
And it's a pretty scrappy one.
That's what we're doing now.
But again, another team that are more than capable.
Again, unless somebody that looks like Megan Fox or like a Taylor Swift or like a Jessica Alba or like Jessica Simpson or something from like their prime era, like lock me in. Lock me in. I've heard that before. Like some men just are not attracted to Megan Fox, but like ever since that Transformer era of Megan Fox, I was hooked.
On that sort of west side of zone.
Yeah, this is going to be a really tough spot to kind of put yourself in. You see a
Now
lot of
Warhammer
teams trying to
fan,
put
it's much worse. Yeah,
themselves
that's debatable. There's some pretty attractive women that paint miniatures. You'd be surprised.
For now, though, the clock is
They don't necessarily play Warhammer or know anything about the lore, but they like to paint miniatures. So you never know.
Refresh their way back into this lobby here.
Yeah, there's definitely baddies out there that are into Warhammer. I mean, there's definitely baddies that are into Fortnite, but unfortunately, most of them are like early 20s, and I'm not that young anymore, so I'm not looking to date somebody that's in their early 20s.
Nosif loses duo as well. This is so rough.
This is really rough. The French fans right
My side of the world. I would feel like there would be more out there, right? Because that's where like the Warhammer like headquarters is out in Europe and stuff. So honestly, I don't know. Peterbot Pollo up on the high ground again, looking pretty solid. Sharktini trying to launch up. They may be going for the height, but he's got the mammoth pistol, so they could take him out. He doesn't have enough to spray, so he's not going to be able to put down the pressure with the mammoth pistol. Nearest is Poland. So there's no Warhammer stores. There's no Warhammer stores near me. Well, I guess it's like an hour and a half away. There's one in like St. John, New Brunswick. I don't speak Polish yet. You trying to learn? Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that. Henry Cavill, W. Like I just saw a video of him. Like he like has like a crazy ass like barbecue that's like Warhammer themed. Looks sick.
Plenty of builds for him to work with. This is the situation. This is the player that you want in a solo club situation. He pulls zone here as well and finds.
He's got 1,500 mats right now. He's looking really solid if he can get back in zone with that many materials. Yeah, Peterbot and Pollo on the high ground. They've managed to take the high ground and they're holding it. For my Polish dad, what does that mean? Wait.
Meanwhile, just looking at how Peterbot is playing here, they are firing.
Is that a swear word in Polish? Or is that food? Is that food?
You know it's going to be an absolute banger, and that's what Peterbot does. Another huge couple of connections there with the mammoth pistol.
Is it a Polish sausage? It's okay. Yeah, it's a Polish sausage. Okay, right on. Yeah. I think I would know that. I used to watch so many cooking shows. I haven't for a while, but I used to watch a ton of cooking shows. So I've definitely heard it kielbasa.
It's Muzz and Sphinx. They're looking on down at the rest of the lobby, trying to skip a lot
Fucking wild, bro.
to hold on to a lot of their materials.
Booga.
On the low ground, Booga Not a bad performance so far. Still need more. Looking for an opportunity.
I just realized they switched out the commentators for Mini Minor, and I don't know who else is commentating.
In the air as well.
This is smart from them. We see them
And MDF.
continue to set up this Flowberry Fizz with the mega launchpad plays here just to continue to buy their way towards those placement points. That's the learning that they took out of those first several games. For them, it's a story of being nearly...
Like, I don't think anybody realizes that Height's kind of free right now. So they're looking actually really good. Another team just goes down, so there's 15, so a few more placement points. Shark's still alive, clutching up, doing a really nice clutch up. He's got the grapple for the rotation, which is huge. He does get fried, though. He has the 5 minis. Get himself back up to about 108 health. Another team goes down. That's the power team goes down. Booga Braid still doing pretty well.
Looking for that right now. Goofy and Z-Dog looking to try and hold them as well, but they're safe and sound in another top right now, trying to find their way towards
Glider waiting this guy.
All they need is one big refresh here, Monster, just to get their
Somebody did that in pubs, I'd be convinced they were fair. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. You're just like, you're not gonna see that often. You do see it a little bit in like cups, like in the Duos Cup that we watched on Monday. Teams were holding rifts. They'd hold a rift, they'd rift up to max, and they deploy the glider and they just hold. Because there's so much going on in low ground, so you're able to just milk up placement points. Shark finally goes down in 12th. 10th, 11th goes down. Malabuka and Vico, who are our point leaders currently. Poyo, our Booga goes down. Peterbot, Poyo are looking really solid. Bounce pad play up.
Looking a little bit low on the materials right now, so trying to find their way towards that front side as well.
He's looking all right on materials. He's got a, you know, he's burning through them quickly though.
Squeezing out all of those placements, still a decent amount of builds to work with as well.
Honestly, it's such a strategy though in this format because nobody looked up at him.
Meanwhile, loses Poyo though. Poyo gets greedy, trying to get the refresher, and then you have teams that are nearly...
Your points start to decay. That would be wild. Honestly, that would be a crazy system.
What kind of stories unfolding?
Peterbot on second height right now. Who's up on top? Vico and Malabuka.
He's trying to chop out high. It's Malabuka retaining it. Vico's all the way down there, though. He's going to have to survive for now.
He has the fizz effect. Malabuka's got to jump down, otherwise he's going to die to fall damage. Peterbot gets a massive shot. Poyo gets the knock on the Vico. They're able to get the siphon. That's actually wild. They're set to win this game. They should not lose this game. You do have Muzz and Sphinx, the other duo. There's two solos out in the Storm that are kind of fighting each other. Sphinx goes back into Storm. You have Muzz getting obliterated. Yeah, Peterbot and Poyo are set to win this game. Is Sphinx going to be able to solo clutch? Probably not. Yeah, Peterbot and Poyo do clutch up. They get a huge game there. They finally get the win. They're so pumped about it. You can tell.
They know they're back. They were never gone. They were always within. They were always feeling it.
It's 117. I may be able to get one more game. Yeah, that was honestly crazy. So to go from like the bottom, they were like 18th at one point, and now they're second. Like, that's crazy. After the first two games, 2 first places back to back. Insane, with 12 eliminations in the last game. Yeah, they're basically set to, like, they're bare minimum qualling. Although Vico and Malabuka did pop off in that game as well. They did really well. Top 3 with 3 eliminations. Sharktini are kind of falling off right now. Their last 3 games have been really rough.
You could see a lot of that pressure just being released off of their shoulders right now. Not only have they won their...
Yeah, they're the only team with 2 wins now.
Across different maps. So
which is crazy.
This is the sign of things to come here on Slurp Rush, because we did have questions. We were like, yeah, what a nice end.
I do feel like Peterbot and Poyo do better on Slurp Rush than they did on the Elite map or whatever that fucking map is. It seems like pros hate that other map. So, that's huge. That was awesome, though. Peterbot, Poyo, they held that really well. The Mammoth came in huge.
The best players in a situation like this, but that map change, I think, really was the boon that they were looking for. Even now, look, Peterbot posing.
Yeah, I've only played it a couple times. I did not like it. I did not like it at all. I don't like the way that it looks. I don't like the vibe. I don't like the loot pool.
You can never really count them out here.
Like, he was frying with that mammoth there.
Thinking about how this all plays out here. I mean, from their perspective.
But like 100 damage with one shot is kind of crazy. Like guaranteed like 90 damage.
It's one duo. Can you find him? Can you drop? Just fight.
Nice flick.
Right here. That's good. What is the? You're horrible, bro.
Well, Mini,
That was insane.
Nothing less, right?
Alright, I'll be right back. I just gotta use the washroom. I may be able to watch one more game, but it's hard to say. I have to leave here at 1:45, which is in 40 minutes, so hard to say, but I'll be right back.
They're the teams that understand sort of communication importance, sort of thinking about what's actually relevant in each moment and keeping their communication clear and calm so vital. And it's something we don't get to see too much in Fortnite, particularly when it's online. You don't get to hear from the players like we do when we're on land. So it's an element, it's a skill gap. It's something that these guys have mastered. They're maintaining their calmness, but also they're prioritizing what they say in each individual moment. That's what makes them so great.
You know, looking at the bigger picture, this is just the group stage A, right? We're only in day one.
Yeah.
We haven't even got to what that final lobby is going to look like, but we're getting a small sample of how difficult it could be.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting to see how things develop right here. But before we get to that, we'll be right back.
The human body was built to move, not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you, gamers, hybrid workers, artists, backing your every move.
A lot of people are haunted by their past. I'm inspired by it.
They're not just playing for themselves, they're really playing for their entire family.
They have defeated their demons! They have crushed the curse!
Hearts have been broken here at EWC, and also a lot of money has been made. And that's exactly what Falcons is currently looking to do. Just make it to the finals and lift that trophy and also get all that money. This is something you were actually scared of, Vivid. You were talking about the momentum that this player is going to have, and right now with that back-to-back win.
And that's why you can't count out Peter Bottom Player. You never can. It doesn't matter how far down the leaderboard they are at any point in the competition, because they can have what we like to phrase Peter Bot and Pollo-esque games. That being said, though, I do want to go ahead and mention it, right? Levin, we kind of talked about it. They only needed a couple of games to actually make something like this happen. They have absolutely flown up the leaderboard, and I don't think we're surprised.
It's Peter Bot and Pollo. What are you going to say? I mean, they have dominated in Reload all year long. We said, I think at least, they're a better Slurp Rush team.
Yep.
I think we saw in that game exactly why Slurp Rush plays into their hands. A lot of the meta in Reload has been about sort of playing the storm and trying to skip zones. I don't really think that's their bag. But in games like that one, they sit at Slurpy Swamp, they keep pulling zones, and they can just farm the rest of the lobby. They go into that end game just more stacked than anybody else in the best positions, and they just deliver.
I mean, you speak of that best position is early height, and every single time I see it, I doubt it. I go, there's no way they're going to be able to hold height all the way from zone 7, zone 8, and then they do it. They do it in such a good job, splitting, making sure that Pollo's watching the front, Peterbot watches the back to make sure that no one's able to steal from them, and they just are able to control high ground for that entire time. Look at Pollo, even getting chopped, he is still making sure that he is spraying on players. Honestly, Seven, when you said that we were scared of the momentum of Peterbot and Pollo, I was actually more scared at the start, like something was wrong in the universe, and now things feel like they're falling into place.
The scariest bit.
Put on a belt.
On top of everything we've already said to pick these guys up.
Fucking cut my like oxygen off.
They're not missing shots. Like they are hitting all the important shots. And like, how do you take height off these guys when they just hit every mammoth shot?
They were catfishing. That's exactly what they were doing in those first games.
Yeah.
They were playing a bait and switch for us. They were like, let's see what they got to say. Let's see what they're going to be coming back with. But one team that you've actually been keeping an eye on that has been bouncing
Bro,
back.
I'm so upset I don't get to finish watching this.
This squad has bounced back, especially in the last 2 games.
And it's really
my own
interesting
fault.
to see because they're not playing together in the FNCS.
I could have
There's a
picked the interview time for 3, but I thought this was going to be over. I didn't realize it was a 10-game format. 10 games today, 10 games tomorrow, 10 games Friday, and then 15 games Saturday.
For all of NA and OCE and NA East, all the regions that he's represented, he's like the champion for all of us.
Listen, for anybody that frequents the FNCS over on NAC, you guys know anytime that Muzz is on the screen, Zeke himself has an absolute freak out. Let's call it the Zeke freak. Kelly has, kind of brought that here to the stage for us here today, talking about anytime she sees Muzz up there.
Dude,
on the
Vivid is
pitch,
actually getting so goated as a commentator and host. Like,
currently sitting in 4th place. I mean, again, we like to have that conversation, Levin, about sometimes some of these teams, they just sneak up into the top of the leaderboard, and it's super impressive.
Yeah, I mean, early in the day, we're here talking about we're the NA team. We got to switch to the
bro, we
second
need
page of
to
the
see something
leaderboard to
crazy.
spot out any NA. And they have quickly risen up. You know, all it takes is 6-7 games, and you start to see all these guys up there.
All right, I'm going to brush my teeth and
I got to Booga and Braids right now.
I have no choice. I have to be out of here in like 20 minutes.
Out of NAC. It was so hype when he won. You could hear the hype coming out of Booga. And to see them, they actually were doing better in the previous game.
Yes.
So they dropped down just a little bit. But even then, to see them in the top 10, just so close, Vivid, to make it into that 7th spot, that's what I love to see for Booga and Braids.
This is where the competition starts to get a little bit scary, though, because I remember talking to 7 about how we just had a 7-point difference between positions 5 and 9 on the leaderboard. Take a look at how big of a gap we now have established. I mean, heck, we can just simply talk about the gap between 9th and 7th place. Remember, 7, all of these teams need to get into the top 7, but if that gap continues to grow, your chances of even clutching up in some of these big games starts to fade away.
And what's scary too is not just Peterborough and Pollo, it's all those teams towards the top, as Aurora, as big as well. They're just being so consistent. They're going to be continuing to take points away from those squads that are wanting to push up to the top 7. And not just that, when we end up flipping the page and we end up seeing those teams towards the bottom, the points are just not going to be available for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's not good.
It's not good.
It's not a good look. Look, the one thing I will say, unfortunately, the second page is starting to fill up with a lot of the smaller region teams, but Lewa and Romero still going solid in that top 7 for the Brazilian region. Look, I was looking at a lot of data before the competition. Sort of like grouping teams together.
Get into the game.
Some of the numbers from
Get into the game. Man, Epic and Pomp are in 20th. That is not where you want to be.
Naturally, a lot of people
Damn.
might not have predicted
It looks like Alex and Reckless are probably going to get eliminated. Epic and Pump need a good game.
Well, yeah, there's
It is not
conversations
looking
that we
good
need to
for
be having.
him.
We're looking for the
He's
top
kind of
7,
proving
but
the
we're also
opposite of what he
looking for
wanted
the
to
top
prove,
17.
that
Those-
being the
it's
oldest
pretty
player
close to
is
the
a
bottom 5
weakness.
right now. Any one of those can easily just have a top 5 game, top 10 game, and jump themselves up from that spot.
I was looking at Shark and Tini actually from Aurora because they started off insanely hot, right? To the point that some of us were saying, okay, just wrap it up. I think they're going to be taking it. But they have decided to slow down a little bit here, Vivid.
They haven't decided to.
We're going to be panicking about because of what we saw out of them in those first
They
3
just have to
matches.
deal
So
with
maybe
other
just taking
teams
some
going
games
for
out.
height now.
Yeah, I mean, they
The
actually
first
went
2 games,
further down
nobody
the
was
leaderboard.
looking
They
up.
did drop down to 3rd right now, so they're still doing fine. But it was actually just simply on the back foot of a Shark clutch. Like, Teeny went down. It looked like they weren't going to be able to get any surmountable amount of points out of that game at all. But Shark doing Shark things, went ahead and solo clutched their way up there to make sure that they do withstand a spot towards the top of the leaderboard. But if we're talking about the top of the leaderboard, guys, how have we completely avoided?
Levin is huge. He's like, Levin is like
Vico
6'4" or
and
something like that.
Malabuka sit
Like,
in
he's a big
first
guy.
place right now.
And Vivid is pretty short. I won't lie to you.
I think these guys, what they have shown us
I
this
assume
year
Vivid's probably
is
like
when they
probably
get
my
on
height.
stages
Honestly, he's
like
probably like
this,
5,
when they can
like anywhere from
feel the
5'7" to
crowd, when they
5'9".
can
Like
be with
I'm
each other and have
5'10"
that chemistry
if
and
I'm not
passion, that
slouching,
experience
but
of going to a
like
tournament like
I
this.
just
They
you know
just
played video
activate
games my
to
whole
a
life,
new
so I
level.
slouch more often than not. So I'm about
Let's be real.
5'9".
In the FNCS Major 2, it was stinking a little bit from them two, right? You would have never expected this type of performance if you were basing it just off of what they've been doing since the summit. different story today.
When you speak on that energy, I think back to when we were
But
running
Levin is
rehearsals
a
for the player
giant.
walkouts, and we could see that there was a lot of
Like
players
you
that
should
just
see,
weren't
like
really that
Jacob's
interested
even
in having these
shorter.
kind
Like
of
Jacob
like
PR, like
conversations.
he's one of
And
the
as soon as
commentators.
we go in
He's
now,
even
we go,
shorter
they don't
than
care. They're so excited, they're energetic. A lot of people,
Vivid,
you can tell that
and
they're
it's
stressed
so
when they're
funny
here.
when you
They're only
see
thinking about
him
the
standing
game.
next to Levin.
now
Like
look at
it
TV,
literally
just
makes
kinda
him
seems
look
like a
so
win streak
tiny.
for them.
Talking about that stress actually from some players, and we got a chance to see them shine early on, and I'm gonna be talking about Phoenix in retro. It is their first land, right? After that win, they just keep dropping off on that leaderboard. Is that pressure starting to get to them, Vivid?
I mean, it must be, right? Because we do like to go ahead and talk about experience.
A lot of Genes out here, yeah.
Genes
are, you know, they're the meta for the FORTNITE commentators, clearly.
So getting the win was good for them, but
I mean, I can't lie, I like wearing jeans. Jeans more often than not. I've recently come to like wearing like cargo pants because I like having like the pockets. But I used those for work when I was landscaping, so it was really convenient.
When Phoenixes burn the brightest, that is when they pass away, and from their ashes they rise up to the
Jeans
top.
are the meta, unironically hilarious. Yeah.
How could it not be a player named Phoenix?
Yeah. I don't know how many FORTNITE players are wearing jeans. I can't lie, I haven't really paid attention. But you're not wrong.
Rise from the ashes. That rise has to start to begin. And it's not going to be easy because I think you look around the rest of the competition and it is true.
Dude, that guy kind of looks like ecstatic, but
from a bunch of different people.
I think he's European.
Finding that consistency, it's not a straightforward formula.
It's a gene-ocracy, or I can't even say that word properly.
They need to step up. They need to make sure they rise up from the ashes. Let's see who's going to be rising up in this next game.
I think I know what you mean. I think I know what you mean. So.
Number 6, first match on Slurp Rush did not
Gene-spiracy. Okay, no, I did not know what you mean.
Storyline about qualification, about glory, getting inside that top 7.
Just in FORTNITE, the FORTNITE community. I don't know. I haven't watched much of the rest of the EWC, so I don't know. This is like one of the last games. Like they already ran through Valorant, they ran through Call of Duty, they ran through Overwatch, they ran through like all the games. This is the last week. There's 7 weeks of this. I wonder how much they pay the commentators.
Yeah.
60 points is the win, 210 is the cutoff. You drop the ball.
Dude, those do look so cool.
Will literally take second place from you.
Yeah, absolutely. And all it can take is one game just to reignite that momentum for some of these teams down further below. Epic well pumped.
Oh, bro, I only get 15 minutes. I don't even think I'm gonna be able to watch this game.
Now is the time because you don't want to leave it too much.
It only takes me like 5 minutes to get over there. But the traffic sometimes and construction can hold me up.
6'7", not going quite their way. Muzz opting to leave the dirty docks. In fact, other teams didn't even go there. This is
I've noticed a lot of younger gamers doing the SQ slant keeper setup.
The most important thing is staying alive, right? If you can just
yeah. I think with the younger generation, it's partly just like you do watch a lot of the older generation of competitive esports players do it, but in most cases, like people started playing that way because they didn't have the desk space. Like I used to play that way because I didn't have desk space, and then once I got enough desk space, my keyboard's slightly slanted, but like barely. But yeah, if you were to talk to like an older generation of pros, they'd be like, I just didn't have the desk space, so I started playing like that. And now it's just a thing that's developed.
He secures 3 quick Iliums, starts dancing. He's like, hey, Retro, send me to my teammate. I'm going home, brother.
He's fine.
Wait.
He's fine with that. Yeah, it's absolutely fine.
Really?
Getting an early start, hit the emote.
That's kind of interesting. Because I'm definitely kind of like the opposite. Well, no, I type with the keyboard straight. I type with the keyboard as straight as it can be. And I write.
That sort of top 7, 11th place overall right now. So yes, they probably could do it in the 2 games. Maybe they could do it in 1 game, but you have to make it count. Now, as we get to see how those fights were going down here, Osborne Muzz, one of the finest fights.
I guess I write slanted. Yeah, I do write slanted.
Against Malabuka.
I had to think about it.
I
had to think about it.
Shots, and Moda can find the first or his second elimination of the game so far. This is a big moment for these.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely the same way. But now my keyboard's like very slightly tilted. Like I don't have desk space the other way now, so it's like I don't have enough space to slant the keyboard that much. Also, I find it strenuous on the wrist. So I just keep it at like probably like tilted less than like 25 degrees.
Sitting on pumped shoulders. You saw the interview and the content with Epic Whale there. We know surely he's.
Dude, I'm gonna show up with like a headset dent in my hairline.
It can be hard, can't it? If you're playing
Like, man,
with someone that has so much experience,
must have been
so calm
gaming.
and speaks about your team as, yeah, we're a calm team, we're going to be fine, we're going to perform. And then you might be thinking, actually, I'm a little bit nervous, I'm a little bit feeling the pressure.
Interviews.
So maybe that could be the case for them right now. Sneaky beaky, though, for Chino and
We'll see how it
Pablo,
goes.
looking to find an opportunity as we get to see that in the bottom left of your screen. We get to see, of course, how Pump took down Goofy. Pretty standard stuff for him. And Chino, bottom left, looking to find that moment. Phoenix, completely unawares, you have to imagine. And now he is. Pablo looking for a big shot, not quite able to crack his shield, gets inside of the box, hits a big shot, but Phoenix there does go down. Of course, it's only Phoenix in this
I'd like to be like
area.
5 minutes
Pablo
early,
Chino,
but I'm not really
very solid
too
loadout there.
worried about it.
Exotics in hand, Vico Malabuca just next door, and Pablo Chino are a team that we expect big things from them. They do deliver on the big stage, but I feel like we can expect more. They're that good.
I think the competition is just that close, to be honest. You know, they're really in that mix. They're in the competition race here at the moment, but Vico's going to take some punishing damage. Malabuca just on the run here. These are your point leaders at the moment. That's the worst case scenario for both of your individual players to be in different important fights right now. This is how you get sent back to the lobby here and earn no points. Meanwhile, Virgo pops in.
Well, Virgo and Shadow killing Malabuca and Vico are eliminated. That's the point leaderboard. That's the leaders.
For teams like Poyo Peterbot, for teams like Shark Teeny to start rising up to the occasion right now. The team that have been looking so consistent, quite reminiscent actually of their Summit win. The way
That's actually huge for everybody underneath to take the victory in day number 1.
Now any team inside the
In
top
day
7
1.
realistically has a chance to snipe the first base seat and really give us a show here
I agree.
for the first group.
That makes it so shitty that I have to go to this interview.
Going over to the rest of the
Honestly, I can't see the interview lasting longer, so I may be able to get back for like the last game.
One team that is
But
Pablo and Chino. We've seen these guys trying to sneak around.
Unfortunate.
A little bit of that damage
Unfortunate
dimension. They've got
indeed.
that exotic as well. Really good for close range shots.
Maybe a double stream,
Yeah,
a double stream today, most likely.
Both of these
But I'm
guys
probably going to
with
get some
solo
food on my
clutches,
way
and I think
back
we saw
as
that in
well,
last game.
so
Shark doing a really good
it's hard to
job
say
just to keep them
if I'll have enough
at the top
time
end of the leaderboard, even though
to
Teeny
catch
did
the
go
last
down
game.
early. When you have players like Shark, when you have players like Teeny,
Because we're in game
Chino,
7
these
now, so there's
individual
still
talents
3
on
games
your team,
after this game, so it'll be like 2 o'clock. We'll be going into game 8.
Yeah, it definitely makes a difference, you know.
So I would imagine by like 3, this tournament will be over. So yeah, if I had the interview at 3, I would miss the last game most likely still. What a shot!
Turns around. Meanwhile, speaking of the witch, Mofu's going to be taken out pretty quickly there by Peterbot and Boyo now. Just cleaning up house here at the Slurpee Swamp. Jumping to the other side, we have OCE's Reckless and Alex here. A little bit of pressure on Braids and Booga. Fights breaking out now for Shadow and Virgo.
I gotta get ready to go in about
yeah, this is
like
a nice
9
position here
minutes.
as well for
I should
Pablo
just grab
and
all
Chino.
my
They can
stuff.
sort of scrap loot a lot of this area. See PhD and Edson inside of the area too, so they've got to be careful that they don't clash heads before they make their way into the zone right now.
But honestly, if they offer me the job, I probably won't be able to get back for the last game because I'll probably have to go to the bank and get a void check and stuff and all that shit. I'll have to fill out paperwork. They'll probably want it by like Walmart's pretty fast with the hiring process, so if they do want you to work for them, they'll hire me. I'll probably be working by next week.
We've seen that throughout lots of LAN events. Brazilian teams aggressive, looking for fights at different areas.
Which is a good thing. That's a good bad thing. Like, I'd rather not work, but obviously, so would most of the world.
And really is just soaking in the moment. It's a wonderful thing to watch. Back on Overdo to our very
If they don't want me to work,
Shark and
I'll take it as a sign. I need to start making some money, even if it's only at $300 a week. Like, I'll take it. That'd be like $1,200 a month. It's enough to pay my bills and pocket a little bit of money. I won't be able to buy anything, but I'll still take
in the zone and the
like buy like games or buy Lego or any of that stuff. But I don't really want to buy any of that stuff right now anyway. I'm looking to pay some stuff off and.
You can go back into the storm. You can heal your way up. You can scrap loot a lot
Chill here.
as well.
All right, Anders, man. Thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it.
Down inside of that storm.
I appreciate it. You have a good day. Enjoy the foods.
To try and find a clutch. Of course, Retro and Phoenix, they're quite happy to
I
find
am
that elimination. Couple points right there as we get to see the overall rankings, how things are shaping up. Remember, Vico, Malabuka are top dogs right now, down and out completely.
Is the storm moving? No, the storm's not moving yet.
So all those teams down below, like you mentioned, Monster, they're definitely within reach.
Listen, my question for you is, what are these zones?
I appreciate that. Yeah,
These
thank
are
you.
tough zones right
Thank
now.
you. I'll let everybody know how it goes.
You to steal away that real estate. So we're gonna have another congested tournament here at the end at the Steamy Stacks with those silos that can be in play.
Basically, it's like they'll either, I feel like it's like they'll either contact me. I don't know how Walmart does. Like, when I originally worked for Walmart, I'm just rambling. You can go get food. There's don't worry about, like, chilling or whatever, but I'm just rambling. But when I originally worked for Walmart, it was a group interview process. So there was like 6 of us there around a table. And if that's the case today, I'm going to hate my life. Like, I do not want to do a group interview.
Outside of that top 7
I hate the idea of a group interview.
As always, so high on Booga's shoulders.
Like, yeah, you get the sense of like whether somebody is Walmart's a PhD degree. Dude, this day and age, it would not surprise me. I'd go in there, they'd be like, "So do you have a PhD in computer engineering, science, and law?" I'd be like, "What?" What? You also need 55 years experience in order to work for us.
They're quite happy with their positioning.
Huh?
There's no reason to take that risk, and they are a good enough team to find those refreshes mid-game. Here we go, though. Pablo and Chino, another knock for them, gets the full elimination as well, all the way down towards Logjam, of course, as well. They find themselves there
Come on.
So looking to make their way towards that north side. Zone pulls back towards
I got like 6 minutes, and then I gotta run. I got my phone. I need my keys.
Inside of the zone, potentially an opportunity for teams to rotate. Really like this positioning, though, from Sharkantini. Probably not as active as we've seen them in previous games at this particular time of the game. They're quite understanding, I suppose, of the fact that Vico Malabuka are down, the fact that they're now third on the leaderboard. They need another one of those big games. And
now I just gotta
I think reality's setting in, like,
basically run out,
that big lead we had,
go to the car.
Gone at this point, and no one is
It's only gonna take me like less than 10 minutes to drive over there, but I would like to be a couple minutes early to like be like, oh, because Walmart's like, oh, you need to be 5 minutes early for your shift. Why? Like, if I show up right at the time to swipe my card, does it really fucking matter if I'm 5 minutes early?
Teams now starting to migrate on in. It's time to get to the safety.
Look at that. Yeah, look at that east side of the zone, though, of course, as well. You get to see it in the minimap. We go to a POV that is inside of the zone as Pablo, Wingu, and Chino get another elim. But what's great for them is, of course, that zone does pull towards that south, so they're going to be able to get towards that dead side of zone with these eliminations, with this damage that they've got here as well. It is a 2-tick, and it will turn into a 5-tick eventually as well, so they do have to be careful. But that's what I'm saying. Look at that east side. It's going to be really interesting to see where this next zone ends up pulling, because if it does pull towards that west side, it's going to be really difficult for so many of those teams. And even if it pulls towards the east, those 1 or 2 teams that are on the west, it's going to be so difficult for them. It's not going to be easy at all.
So handoff there of the Shockwaves, only 2 for Izzy and Nokin. So we'll just have to keep eyes on how they end up.
I did not see Peterbot and Poyo in that players there with that overhead cam.
Update with our teams that are in the race right now are still looking good, but this is where the real story starts.
Oh, they're there. Yeah, I see them now.
Close, and all chaos is gonna break loose.
I think probability-wise, it is more likely to pull east, of course. There's more land to play with. The zones favor not pulling over water. There needs to be a certain percentage of it in, so I'd imagine it will pull back to the east, and I think a lot of these players will think the same too. And yeah, it's a sort of northeast zone, so straight on one of those stacks, though, it's going to be absolute chaos here at the end of this game, and it almost makes it quite difficult for a lot of these teams towards the south of this zone, particularly the teams towards the southeast. Pump and Epic Well of one of them. Booga's ahead of everyone else, so he shouldn't have too much of an issue, but you've got to push through all of these teams.
Come on.
To make your way in, and
show me something good.
That some of these guys find themselves in.
Yeah, this fight's going to be pretty nasty. That's going to happen right now. Remember, those stacks are completely indestructible. We're going to start running out of real estate already and then start taking things to the air where teams are going to have to block you off. So this is going to get very, very congested here shortly. Peterbot Pollo starting to set up the alert, though. You have Shark and Teeny to their right-hand side, and it feels like we're in an end game. Yeah, just put quotations around that. There's no points yet. This is not where you want to go down.
It's definitely not. Remember, Peterbot Pollo, they've been setting up for height a lot earlier on than so many other teams in this lobby. So interested to see now how they play now that first place is up for grabs. Will they still take that risk? Will they still go for it? As
like, honestly, they should go for it. They've been rolling height.
Comeback, so that's gonna
This is going to be a weird zone because of the wind turbine.
Get fully eliminated there. Phoenix down as well, so Pablo and Chino deal the final blow to that team. And
For the stack.
Yeah, 5 eliminations now, things adding up. Rocket launcher in hand, mind you. And then you saw that exotic shotgun as well. So much firepower in their hands. Just take a look here from Pablo's perspective. They fight a very weak Phoenix, and that's the full elimination. They were trying to hype them up, but that pressure's starting to kick in now. Meanwhile, can Shark and Teeny overtake first place with this kind of opportunity they've been gifted? They're going to be one of the first to go and cut through. And look at that. No interest in actually going for high ground. They don't want to be a part of that mess here. They see that the new storm is actually pushing far west. They are getting put to the test.
Lovely little dead side rotate there from them as well. They understand that they don't need to take that risk. They don't need to go up into the sky. And the team that are right now, Mshari and Style, these guys are very happy to be up here, trying to maintain a lot of that position as well. Goofy, Z-Dog also trying to do the same. Mshari looking towards that front side of that moving zone as well. So they're looking to try and take height early on here. Peterbot Pollo understand that maybe the time is not now. Getting pressured down from height as well. Pablo and Chino settling for these mid-ground layers. Looking pretty healthy, looking like they're in a good situation to take this sort of front side mid-ground layer. They're a team that haven't really come alive yet. We haven't seen the best of them, but it's brewing. There's something there.
Yeah, this is
I gotta get ready. I'm not gonna be able to watch this game.
Only team playing the ultimate low ground at this point. As the others come down, it's out of desperation, and that's gonna be a great.
What zone are we in? 8th?
From Edson to Shark. Very nice pickup. That's some free mats. Meanwhile, Peterbot and Pollo fighting for the layer here, taking full control. That's a refresh they'd love to have, but they do not need, and they will not sacrifice their positioning.
Yeah, they don't need to. Zone pulls back towards Steamy Stacks. They need to maintain that elevation. They can't go down for that refresh. Booga been in prime position this entire endgame, really using all of that experience. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back into that building right now as well, tries to refarm, use a lot of that natural cover. You see Romero trying to do that right now, and it's the Middle East team all the way up on height, still maintaining it.
Khaled
Come
and
on.
Shari just
How much longer is this game?
This has been the
15, I want to watch it.
It's like whoever takes it has gotten a free ride. Meanwhile, Lua and Romero, though, what a story for them. This sleeper duo here stepping up and continue to stay consistent. But again, there's so much more to be desired in this game. There's still 14 duos remaining, and we're nearing the final zones.
Shari. Khaled looking just down on the rest of the lobby. There's always that danger, though. There's another team coming
That's
up.
Peterbot.
Who else?
What a cut, bro. They just obliterated them. Now they have height 276. They're about to, honestly, they're about to take first.
As well. Now he's got that legendary one and you're done pump shotgun. What an inventory, 6 shockwaves as well. Big on material counts here. Are we going to see a 3-peat? Could this be a sample for the finals? Do remember that match point format. You'd have to break threshold, secure wins, and we're seeing early glimpses of that greatness.
And why would we ever doubt them? They're all the way up. The zone pole's all the way back down. All these teams down below need to try and tumble on all the way through, but the team that's not doing that right now,
Bro, I gotta go. But I want to watch this end game so bad. All right, I will say thanks, Gordon and Anders. Hunter, Swan, thank you for being in the chat. Misa, thanks for being in the chat today as well. I appreciate it. Mo Beans, of course, thank you for being here. And for the clip. W. Yeah, I appreciate you guys all being here. I'm going to be back on in probably like an hour to an hour and a half. But maybe a little bit longer. I'm not too sure. It really depends on how this interview goes or what their interview process is like.
Make that 9. Shark and Teen are heating up. The low ground is there. theirs, and they are the kings of what's happening here. Pump in a desperation attempt there to grab a couple mats there, but Shark lets him lose. TD, meanwhile, goes up as he starts to secure for positioning here. They're looking to make this a very interesting endgame. Now they look to the high ground. They see, wait a second, someone's
It's Polo. Where's Peterbot? Oh, Peterbot's knocked.
It's all up to Pollo.
First place is there.
But they have first place.
Looking the more likely right now.
Oh, Shark and Teeny picked up an elimination.
Shark says, no, we want that positioning. Let's try and chop him out. Pollo using that overdrive grenade to avoid fall damage, but that's his loss. So he's going to have to be so careful as to how he comes down right now. Shark and Teeny looking up, trying to find that position. They have high right now.
Shark and Teeny may get first here.
They want the win. Of course they want the win. They want first.
How is Pump still alive? Well played for him at top 5, but Pollo here by
Getting fried, bro. Like, he's getting so focused.
He was forced on down and now still holding on, but every interview
Shark Teeny with this dub. There's no way they lose this.
I'm looking out for Shark and Teeny for good reason.
Pollo gets that elim or that knock, but I don't know if the elimination comes through, so Shark Teeny will take first. Pollo and Peter will be in second, and it could still be a Malibuca Vico for third. I'm just going to refresh the leaderboard, spoiler alert. Shark, Peterbot, Vico, Chino Pablo, Muzz, Sphinx, Luwe, and Romero.